extent, betrayed by some members of his party. He still feels hurt. And so that's the other part of this reality. That's part of how he is walking onto that stage tonight. But as Chuck says, I doubt you will see any hint.
Want to skyrocket your YouTube channel's growth? Sprizzy makes it simple. In just 3
really at stake for people that are young like us and long term, heading down the long,
completely ending the infrastructure bill that would be extremely beneficial to our generation. What else? Defunding public schools, defunding, and for certain people, Head Start program. That's super important. And it's so important to get your vote out to stop Project 2025, especially if you're 18 to 24.
Yep. And what do you say to people our age who are disillusioned with our institutions? You know how there's a lot of people who think that Trump and Kamala, are effectively the same. How do you rebut that?
That is so untrue. You can just look at their record. Look at their record and see it was not true. Who was responsible for Central Park 5? We know. Who was responsible for holding predators like Trump accountable in California and San Francisco? We know who that is. That's Kamala. So we need to compare band for band who exactly has the right record, and that's Kamala.
Are you in honors classes?
I'm not. I'm sorry. The wrong question. Yes, I am.
You're in honors classes. Of course you're in honors classes. Yeah, that's an obvious question. But awesome. Take my card. Yes, my number's on there, so we can talk more during the DNC. We can do a segment every single day. Feel free to post it on your Twitter, anywhere. It was great meeting you, Noah. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. That kid was great. That kid was awesome.
We're gonna plan a reset, so Midas is going live in 28 or 35, 40 minutes. So let's plan a reset.
Like a BRB stream?
Yeah. In probably
10 minutes?
20.
Okay. Let's knock out 1 or 2 more interviews.
Yeah.
You guys liking the interviews, guys? So we started off the stream just walking around the DNC, showing you guys what it's like here. And now we are knocking out some high quality interviews with some really cool people. I really like that dude who had the jacket on with the writing. I also really like Noah. Everybody's so cool here. It's such a better vibe than the MAGA rallies that I go to. Damn. I'm also not getting attacked or yelled at by Mike Lindell, so it's pretty nice. You guys want to talk to us about Kamala Harris and your support for her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's fine.
Can I take a selfie, man?
Oh, of course.
I watched your show, buddy.
You want to talk to us?
Not right now.
Sorry. I appreciate that. You want to talk to us on stream about Kamala Harris, sir?
Sure.
Let's do it. Let's step out of the way over here. We are currently live streaming on a channel called For Midas Touch, the Midas Mighty. So, can you introduce yourself to the stream?
Okay, my name is Tommy Hale from Dallas, Texas.
Nice. And what are you coming out to the DNC for?
Well, my production company puts the production on, but I'm coming out mainly because I want to support the Democratic ticket.
Let's go. And what issues are important to you this November?
Women's reproductive rights is number one, and then all of the other social ones, and just making sure, democracy keeps going, basically.
Yeah. And there's a chance that if Donald Trump gets back into office, it is the end of our liberal democracy as we know it. If he's able to appoint tens of thousands of civil servants, if he's able to strip all of our erosions or erode all of our rights away. I also want to ask you, when it comes to Project 2025, do you know a lot about it?
I don't know a lot about it, but I know the bare bones.
You know enough to know it's bad.
I know it's bad.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. It is absolutely awful. And how do you feel about the momentum change over the past few?
And I'm thrilled to be here and be part of it.
Have you noticed how VP Harris hasn't been put on defense yet? So something with Trump is he's really good. He's not good at much. He's really good at putting other people on defense by calling them names, making up lies. Mm-hmm. Kamala Harris isn't biting. She's not biting when he calls her a communist or far left. She's holding her ground and actually we're putting them on the defense by using the word weird. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I think they are weird, and I think it's very accurate.
It's absolutely accurate. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you for putting on the production of all of this, and I hope you enjoy. What's up?
Who was that?
I don't know. You want to talk to us?
And what is it on? Okay, sure. What do you want to
Oh, let's do it right here. We're live streaming. So let me ask you, can you introduce yourself to the stream?
Hi, I'm Amy Miller.
Amy, what are you doing at the DNC?
Oh, I'm here to have the excitement of Kamala, and I'm just so excited about everything.
What state do you come from?
I come from New Jersey.
Nice. Did you fly out yesterday?
I flew out today.
Oh, so you
I'm
came
here for
straight
2 days.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing Kamala
For
speak?
the moment, no, but I'm seeing Obama and Michelle.
So let's dig into
Why
politics. Oh, Michelle is amazing. Yeah, let's dig into politics. What issues are the top of your mind when you think about the 2024 election?
Women's reproductive rights. What else? Of course.
You know what's interesting is we have talked to about like 5 people, and I think the majority of them have said women's reproductive rights are at the top of the ballot, and it's a little bit of sample size error or whatever because we're at the DNC, but I think that's really good that abortion is at the top of people's lists. And what do you think the threat to abortion is if Donald Trump gets back in office? What happens?
Well, he could put a federal mandate to abolish abortions nationwide, right? That would be terrible.
And then we all become Arizona.
Become Arizona,
Exactly. And then how do you feel? I've asked everybody this question. Sorry if you guys are getting sick of the questions. How do you feel about the momentum shift over the past few weeks?
Momentum is fantastic. There's so much excitement. We're thrilled to have her. Yeah.
Thank you for talking.
Thank you.
She didn't want to
Talk now, man.
Let's do it. What changed your mind?
Well, it's just, this is a very exciting time. I want to make sure that all my family and friends know that this is going to be a historic moment here.
Oh, so you had to send the link to your family and friends
Yes,
first.
definitely.
That's
I'm a
good.
first-generation Filipino-American from North Carolina, and this is my first time to be a delegate, and we're so excited. A couple of weeks ago, I was depressed, but there's definitely a change of air, and we're going to win North Carolina, and we're up by 2 points.
We are going to win North Carolina if we do everything right. We are on the right track. So you're a fan of Midas Touch.
Yes,
You like Midas Touch.
definitely.
Say hi to the Midas Mighty. Say hi to the producers of Midas Touch.
Hello, Midas Touch. I watch your show, and I love it.
So what issues are most important to you heading into this election?
Well, the most important to me is really immigration. And there's always a scare tactic by the Republicans that the border is going nuts, but it's really not. It's going down in terms of immigration. I'm a first-generation immigrant, and I want to ensure that continues because immigrants really power the country, and we also contribute to the success of the United States.
Absolutely. It is so true. And the Republicans have a plan to deport 11 to 20 million illegal immigrants. I don't get, and if you watch my show, you've heard me say this, I don't get how you do that in a nonviolent way without accidentally deporting U.S. citizens, without making police so caught up with other stuff that they're not taking care of crime, and finally, without tanking our economy.
Right.
It's insane to me. What message would you have to a Republican who's watching and who thinks that immigrants, who has bad preconceived notions about immigrants, because
Right.
there might be Republicans watching?
Well, to my Republican friends, and I do have Republican friends,
Of course.
Immigrants, especially folks that don't have the paper, pay taxes, billions and billions of dollars of taxes. And so, to be afraid of immigrants is not it's not cool, man. So I hope that, we'll win in November. And I really appreciate your show.
Thank you. Thanks for talking to us.
Okay,
And I'll
take
see you around. You here all 4 days?
Yes.
I'll see you around. Like, subscribe to the stream, and show support. On to the next interview. Oh, I should have had him shout himself out, but at least his family's watching. Should we make our way over to the blue carpet? What time is it?
We need to do a reset before we do that.
Okay, we have an hour till our blue. Let's go check it out. Let's check out the blue carpet. You want to talk to us about Kamala Harris, sir? Okay.
As I say,
voters who are actually sitting there going, you know, there are people that are vacillating. And I think just like Hillary didn't fully appreciate that she was actually turning off some voters with her personal disdain for him. He has a personal disdain for this. And the more it shows, the less becoming it is.
If we could rewind for 1 second, I go back to my
I love a
sourcing.
rewind.
Let's
do it.
rewind.
Take us
in
back.
2020,
Windables.
my Trump sources at the time said to me, the candidate he fears most when he was watching the Democratic primary was Kamala Harris.
I remember
because
that.
he does not know how to go on the attack against her. And we are seeing that play out in many ways in real time right now.
Boy, from the archives, that was a good pull.
Thank
Kristen
He loved,
Welker.
remember, he
I
loved
tried
the
to deliver.
announcement.
Yes,
He was obsessed with her announcement.
she had the best
He goes,
announcement.
look, she had the biggest
It
crowd.
was snowing.
That's what it was. She had the biggest crowd.
Yeah.
Man, everything old is new again. It seems.
Yes.
Chuck Todd,
Yes.
Kristen Welker, great to have you both. Thank you both
you.
very much. More of this to come. How about we
Yeah.
do this every night
Let's
for the
do
rest of
it.
the week?
3 more
We'll be
times.
here.
All right, very good. Thank you both. We got a lot more coverage of the DNC live from Chicago as we wait for that call to order sometime in the next couple of minutes, we believe. And there's also something that hasn't happened before, at least at a DNC, special access for content creators. We're getting into all of it coming up right after the break. Stay with us here, our special coverage on News Now.
Yep. It is a night tonight. You know. Hey, she even said something about content creators. Should have had us up on that thing. You know what I'm saying? That everybody can see tonight. The DNC kicks off their convention early. Man, we got Mrs. Clinton coming on tonight. We got my girl coming on here, the Black Lady Crockett coming on that thing. You know what I'm saying, Doc? LOC, AOC, whatever the fuck her name is. She coming on that thing.
Everyone's loving the stream. I'm gonna let you guys in on some insight here. You guys are loving the stream, which makes me happy because I was really stressed about this stream for the past 4 days. We put this entire stream together basically over the past 3 or 4 days. We had to get all of the equipment. We tested the equipment thoroughly over the past 4 days. It has been an incredibly intense process driving around the city, making sure that everything is working. And now that we're here on the ground, it's like the nerves dissipate all at once I know that you guys are here with me. So it's an interesting thing, like this event was very, very stressful leading into it, but now that we're on the ground, it is great. And it's so great that you guys are here with me watching it live. That makes it all worth it. That makes every single second of stress worth it. That makes every single sleepless night over the past 4 days worth it. So thank you guys. Let's go find some more people. Excuse me, sir? No. Excuse me, sir? Do you want to talk to us about your support for Kamala Harris? Let's do it. Awesome. We got rejected like 3 times in a row.
I'm looking at you. Looking at the camera.
Look at me. It's a conversation.
All right. Can I stand there?
Is that your good side? Everyone has their good side.
Thank you.
I think both of your sides.
Appreciate it.
So first of all, introduce yourself to the stream.
Hey everyone, I am Delegate Joshua Cole. I represent Virginia's 65th House District in the Virginia House of Delegates.
Do we have any Virginians in chat? Any Virginians? We'll see in a second. I'll show you the chat and we'll see if we have any. So what issues are important to you heading into this election?
I think as we head into this election, what's so important, as many people throughout the United States are really concerned about reproductive freedom. We have to make sure that we protect that. I'm also making sure we're protecting workers' rights. And so I'm really excited that we have a president who is championing labor rights. And we also want to make sure we're doing everything we can to protect our environment.
Absolutely. Have you heard of Project 2025? I'm sure you have.
We have.
Give me, never heard of it. Give me your breakdown in your own words. No copying other people, your own words.
I think what we're looking at is a attempt to resurrect conservative policies throughout the entire United States. And what bothers me the most is the attempt to minimize the federal government, which means even, yes, Republican voting constituents who would vote for the Republicans are going to take their jobs away. They're going to get rid of public education. They're going to get rid of reproductive freedom. And so all of those things are really concerning. And we have to do everything we can to make sure that does not get into action.
Can I just say, we have a bunch of people saying Virginia in the house, Virginia in chat.
What's up, Virginia? 2 up, 2 down.
Someone said not from Virginia, but I love it. Someone said they hate Virginia.
Oh, well,
we're gonna find
keep hating.
We're gonna find you, Terry B. So let me ask you, What were we just talking about? Project 2025? Yep. Okay, so leading into this next election, if Donald Trump gets back in office, on day one, he's talking about being a day one dictator. Yes. On my stream, we went through and read Project 2025. They say the term day one like 40 different times. So we have a theory. We're turning into Alex Jones here. We have a theory that when Donald Trump says day one, he's talking about being a day one dictator, which that's what it says in Project 2025. On day one, he wants to stuff tens of thousands of loyalists into the government. He wants to strip away all of our unbroken or unspoken norms like we've had. And yeah, tell me about how you felt about this momentum shift over the past few weeks.
Yeah, I think what's so important is that when people show you who they are the first time, you really want to believe them. Former President Donald Trump has already told us what he intends to do. And so we have to make sure that if that happens in the federal government, the only place that we have play is in the states. And so that's why it's so important that we have state legislators, city councilors, and mayors who are fighting for the rights of, as I say all the time, lottie-dottie and everybody. Mm-hmm. And so they can attempt to do that in the federal government, but we have to make sure we're protecting our states.
And what would be your message to Black Americans who may feel disillusioned with the system, but who are otherwise liberal? Because I have friends who say they believe in climate change, they believe in gay marriage, they believe in all of these liberal concepts, but then when it comes to it, they say both sides are the same. So how would you reach out to somebody like that, and in particular in the Black community?
Yeah, as a Black elected official who's working in government, I always tell young people, you don't care about politics, but your landlord does. That's how he keeps your rent high. You don't care about politics, but your boss does, and that's how they keep your pay low. You don't care about politics, but your insurance company does, and that's how they keep your premiums high. And so politics is involved with everything around you. And so if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. We need you to be at every level. So get involved from dog catcher all the way up to president. Make sure you're involved in every level of government, because with your voice there, that means your vote actually matters.
No way you just came up with that on the spot. That was really good. That was really, really good. That was amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I have a similar point of view. Like when it comes to people in my generation, I was saying this earlier, but it really feels like someday we'll be inhibiting this, and we'll be taking these institutions over. Absolutely. And we want
It's something different they doing too. Is in the convention they got people that do YouTube and stuff. They gave them a section in their joint to do live streams. You heard about that?
It's called reaching out to young people. It's called reaching the people where they at.
Man, this is one of them right here, Adam. He's a live streamer that they gave a press pass to. I think it's 200 of them.
Get out, go vote, make your voice heard, and pull all your friends kicking and screaming.
Let's do it. Let's do it. There's so much energy in the air at the DNC 2024, and I urge you guys to translate this energy into on-the-ground momentum leading into November. So, in the weeks leading up to it, there are ways that you can early vote. There are ways that you can make sure your friends and family are registered to vote and have a ride to the polls. There are so many ways your voice can be heard in America, because for all of us...
Now, what do you think about the first night lineup?
It's okay. I told you what it was going to be last week. You know it was going to be Hillary Clinton, Jill Biden, Joe Biden, AOC. I think they threw somebody else on there. The union dude on there. And there's somebody else. But that's a good opening night.
I would think. I don't know. Yeah. Depending on who mixed up in there, but yeah. Because like the first night, you kind of want to start off by telling where we came from to where we're going. You know what I'm saying? So I will get that
about Joe Biden. It's all about Joe Biden for real.
You know anything about the sewer credit transactions?
Yeah.
I'm gonna share something with you, little baby.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Let's keep it rolling, guys.
Y'all keep it up. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
You want to chat with us?
Yeah, sure. I want to come up to you and say I really enjoyed the video.
Oh, you like my stuff?
Yeah, you're so,
Thank you.
So entertaining.
Thank you. Well, we're currently live on Midas Touch, so. Oh, okay. So let me ask you, what issues are important to you heading into this election?
So I'm a Midwestern. I live here in Chicago. I've been here for about 2 years. The most important things to me, I think, are the economy and how our foreign relations are. That's something that's really important to me, being like a geographer. I find it really important how we are seen by others in the world.
And Donald Trump only undermined our position on the global stage. So what Donald Trump did is he was mean to people like Angela Merkel, mean to people like Justin Trudeau, while in the next breath praising dictators like Vladimir Putin. So wait, you said you work in geography?
Yeah, so I study geography in college. I work for United actually right now. So I travel a lot. So it's always interesting to see whether I'm in Australia or if I'm in Germany. It's always like, it really like made me feel bad at one point because my friends were always saying like, we don't hear too much about what Biden is doing. We only hear about Trump every day in the media. So it was my duty then to tell them what our president has done and why I'm so proud of him and why I made.
Got lost in the whirlpool of tasks? Your Mac may be on the brink of burnout.
One thing I do like though is that people kind of motherfucking like the mood there. You know what I'm saying? It's like a good atmosphere, even though this is not the night that the first black lady will be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you want your whole week to be upbeat. You don't want to save it just for the fourth night. You still trying to woo voters. You try to bring people in. So it gotta be on from right after Cardinal Blaise Joseph Cuppage delivers his invocation. It should be on there. Oh, what the fuck?
Now, do you think they should go in on Trump this all 3-4 nights?
They're gonna. That ain't no doubt. Everything is about god damn, this shit get on my nerves. Oh, my camera went out. That's the fuck.
They also say, why are we sending money to Ukraine and not to our border? It's like, I'm sorry, you want us to send old military equipment to our border? I don't get it.
Right.
Yeah.
People understand what they want to understand. They're not really open. They're not open to like other perspectives or wanting to learn more or challenge themselves on what they already believe in. Yep. So, and everyone who has something to say about the border issue, I mean, we had a bipartisan historic border bill ready to go in Congress, and then Donald Trump shot it down, and nobody wants to like talk about that. But I'm confident that Kamala and everybody else will start bringing it to everybody's attention, especially in the debates to come.
Absolutely. It was great chatting with you. Can you give yourself a shout out on the stream? Can people find you somewhere? Or
I mean,
that was a good point you just made, right? Like everybody keeps screaming about the border. He act like it's an issue, but when it was time to do something about it, I can't hear you. You muted. You muted. Tone. Can you hear? You can't hear either? All right, what's happening? Bro, can't hear you.
5 hours straight. We're gonna go chill, get some water. We're gonna re-prep. Maybe it's been 3 hours. Okay, it's been 3 hours. Sorry, I'm over exaggerating. We've been streaming for 3 hours straight. We're gonna go get some water, and then when we come back, we're gonna be interviewing politicians and surrogates on the blue carpet. Let's do it. Let's go. 1 second, I gotta cut away.
Now what you were saying, I was
good.
I had to put out a video real quick.
One second. We know that we're still live. We're switching the scenes.
They could have me at that joint.
And no, they're not with him. It's not even close. They are. Did you see the last couple of elections? Did you see the last couple of?
That's
I mean, it's
not
just
Donald
nonsense.
Trump's position, and you know it.
He's
He's way more moderate and in tune with the mainstream than the left is. No
At any rate, so on the issues, I love the conversation on the issues. Okay, on the environment, are Americans for more fossil fuel, or are they for sort of moving towards renewable energy. I love this debate on the issues, and I'm sure VP Harris would also.
Well, let me just jump in here because Simone, I got to ask you this question because as we've seen former President Trump do a series of interviews, that has not been the case, of course, for Kamala Harris since she got the presidential nomination here. If you were advising her now, Simone, what would you be telling her to do from that, and not to get navel-gazing, but from that media interview perspective? Would you be telling her to get out there ASAP?
No.
Well, no, I think when the vice president sits for an interview, she's going to have to answer questions. Frankly, real questions about the difference between the policies that she had when she first ran for president and where she is now. I think that you have to have specifics for the American people. And let's just be clear, like a month ago, Joe Biden was the Democratic nominee. And so the idea that Vice President Harris would have a full policy platform teased out that builds on what she did as a part of the Biden-Harris administration, but also specific to what she would do different in the span of a week, I just think it's unrealistic. But I think she needs to be talking to reporters, and I know she's doing that plain side. So we need to see an interview, and I think we'll see one shortly after this convention.
All right, Simone, Cornell, Hogan, thank you all very much for being with us. Cornell, thanks for joining us here on set. I'll let you get a seat down there, or all right, make your way down.
Let's talk about that for a minute. This thing about she has to do a fucking interview. First of all, how do you even feel about that? First of all,
do an interview when she get ready to do an interview.
Do you think this is supposed to be important? Or I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this about? I already know what they're trying to do. They're trying to find a way to clip her up. And Republicans,
I need to say.
And Republicans just want to use the media to do it. And once the media get in there and try to be the first person to clip her up and get a gotcha on her, that's when Republicans use that as their talking points. That's why they don't have nothing. They need the media to help them. So they're pressing it.
That's about right. The media fighting the media fighting on two fronts. Somebody wants to be the first to get the interview, then somebody wants to be the first to clip her up or catch her in the sun. Whoever gets the interview is going to be out there because you're going to be top dog. Whoever gets the interview for that cycle, and they want to know what.
Yeah. And whoever clip her up, that's going to be a Republican talking point, whatever that is in that video. You feel me?
Well, whatever she say,
they waiting for that. They need that help.
Yeah, you know whatever she say, if she get clipped up or not, they're gonna turn it around and
they just need help. They need help right now.
Try to use it.
That's the problem. And I know when she do sit down and do an interview, it's not gonna be with just anybody they thinking. I know she's gonna specifically pick somebody.
I mean, she gonna be
a black female. It probably be that girl that went back and forth with Trump.
Could be her. It's gonna be. I don't know. It might be one of the anchors.
Channel 7, one that was on.
That's the whole guy.
The journal when he said is she not black or some shit. That girl there, I think it's gonna be her. And she gonna pick somebody, or probably main man on NBC with the glasses, the older dude, Lester Holt, somebody like that. They think they gonna be the ones to get him. That's the problem. All pressed and shit, man. Trying to clip up the first black lady.
You'll have a pivot. The same way you had with Reagan and Bush in 1988, the same way you had with previous conventions where other vice presidents have been running to succeed a president. After tonight, it becomes more Kamala Harris's convention.
You know the Democratic Party well. Is this the most united you've seen them in a long time? Is that overstating it?
Democrats in array. With the famous line, of course, by Will Rogers was, "I'm not a member of an organized political party. I'm a Democrat." It's time to retire that line because this has been a party of enormous unity. It's also been a party that right now is very enthusiastic. They see, as I see, a path to victory in November. So there's a lot of palpable excitement here in Chicago, and I felt it from the moment I arrived last night.
That path to victory runs through a state that you and I know well, of course, and that is Pennsylvania. It is going to be critical here. There was some discussion and some conversation when the vice president was selecting her own running mate about Governor Shapiro and whether he should take that role. He obviously did not. He was not chosen. He was not selected. How much of an impact do you think that has in PA, and how do you see the governor being a part of this campaign?
So first, let me say, and I have a feeling you won't disagree necessarily on this. Pennsylvania is the most important battleground state in this election. 19 electoral votes. There is no other battleground state that comes close to our size. I also think it's the one that tends to be the most in play. Donald Trump won it by half a percentage point in 2016. Biden won it by 1 point in 2020. That was decisive in both races. Now, in terms of the vice presidential select, Kamala Harris hit it out of the park by picking Tim Walz. And don't get me wrong, Josh Shapiro would have brought a lot of great things to the ticket as well. But you've seen an opinion poll after opinion poll. I've counted up 11 now, where Tim Walz's popularity is almost 2-1 over his unfavorable rating. And contrast that with Donald Trump's decision, where every single day J.D. Vance is making a gaffe. Today, he was in Philadelphia.
Don't even start with me. We got a punch for you. I needed to know what you think about the order.
Am I going to?
Do it. Lay it on us.
He ordered a cheesesteak, and he got it with Swiss cheese. Actually repeating the infamous John Kerry gaffe of 2004. That is how J.D. Vance is literally a gaffe a day.
I think he was perhaps, I don't know, making light of the Kerry moment, right? I mean, aware of it at least.
I don't interpret it that way at all. I think that's a little too inside baseball. The reality is, though, J.D. Vance has been just a walking gaffe machine.
We should note, by the way, we're listening to the Children's Choir of Chicago singing behind us, and before that, Jamie Harrison coming out with his two kids. As we talk about PA here, an economic message you well know is one that resonates with voters, not just nationally, but in that critical battleground. And yet we've seen Vice President Harris, even in some of these new swing state polls that are just out, and this national poll just out in the last 24 hours, trailing former President Trump on whether or not she can be trusted to handle the economy and inflation. What does she need to do to close that gap?
Well, I've actually seen some polling to the contrary, and of course, most of the recent polling has actually had Kamala Harris slightly ahead of Donald Trump, both in the national number, but even more significantly in the key battleground states, including PA. But look,
sure, on top
this
line, I'm talking about specifically the econ
specifically on the economy, though. This election will be determined by whichever side lays out a vision for the next 4 years. Every campaign is about not the previous 4 years, but the next 4 years. And I like the fact that this is a ticket that's going to be talking about concrete meat and potatoes, economic issues, versus Donald Trump, who is talking about God knows what, basically anything except for the economy.
Congressman, it's good to have you on. I know you got a busy week ahead of you. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you how you think the Eagles are going to look this season. What's your prediction?
Well, first, we're going to be busy this fall. In October, we'll be watching Phillies playoff baseball well into the World Series. I'm looking for wood to knock as I'm saying this, and I think the Eagles will be doing well. But football injuries, as you know, make have an outsized role. But I feel good about it.
Thank you for channeling your inner ESPN for us here on NBC, Congressman. Thank you very much.
I'm a role player. I can play shortstop and play first base.
Good to see you. Appreciate it. We got a lot more to get to here with our live coverage of the DNC from Chicago Night 1. It is officially in play as we speak. Of course, outside the convention hall, you're looking at this scene moments ago, some of those demonstrations. We're going to get a check on what's happening there in just a sec as we continue our special coverage right here on NBC News Now.
News lives in the now.
The front lines are still very active. This is like quicksand, and officials say an entire town is cut off.
This close to actually understand why people had to jump in the ocean. News for the generation of now is NBC News Now.
You are taking a look moments ago at some of what was happening at those demonstrations outside the United Center here in Chicago. We have now learned that 4 protesters have been arrested by the Chicago Police Department. That's news coming into us in just the last couple of minutes here. NBC's Maggie Vespa has been there. She is there now live with our team. Maggie, give us the update.
Yeah, so Hallie, basically you can see Chicago police in riot gear have essentially kind of pushed protesters back from the park that was deemed the free speech zone. But that's before we saw a couple of protesters essentially breach the barricade around the United Center. And that's kind of what sparked the initial clash with Chicago PD. Officers in riot gear came swooping in after that happened, and they've been slowly and steadily pushing people back out of this park. And you can see they're kind of basically pushing them back from the DNC. By the way, you can see the United Center just 2 blocks that way. So that's how close we are. Just for reference, this is the largely pro-Palestinian protest that we've been talking about. It's the Coalition to March on the DNC. We're talking about 270 organizations here from across the country. At its peak, it was about 6,000 people. According to Chicago PD, organizers tell us that tracks with their estimates too. And they marched through the city's west side, kind of winding on this 1.1 mile route that was city approved. Everything was peaceful. And they got to that barrier, tensions boiled over. And now we're left with this scene and, frankly, this standoff, Hallie.
Maggie Vespa live for us there in Chicago.
Bro, hold on. Let's talk about that for a minute. So what you feeling about motherfucking these Gaza, whatever they doing, protesters?
They ass backwards. That's what I think. They got an asshole backwards. Why y'all gonna come? Y'all want to come, make a scene, disrupt, do all this dumb shit to the one person who will listen to the candidate who will listen to you. You got a candidate who will listen to you. She told you where she stand on the issues. She'll listen, but y'all don't. But y'all want to try to make her do shit. Why the fuck would you show up like this at the Republican convention when a motherfucker who, if he gets in, the war's not going to end? If Trump gets in, the war's not going to end no time soon. If he gets in, he's going to give Netanyahu what he wants, and he's going to get Netanyahu the freedom to do what he wants. Then, if you think it's a genocide now, it's going to be a real live genocide if Trump gets in. So I don't get where you're coming from.
Exactly. I'm really confused at this point. What the fuck are you doing there at this point? Right? At some point, you got to realize, one, that's not even our fucking country. Right? Two, you can't hold somebody responsible over here for something a whole motherfucking leader doing in a whole nother country. Like, that's on its face sounds dumb. But then if you want to say the policies, then you want to change the policies. How much do you think she can change? She can't sit there and say, you know what? We ain't sending shit to Israel ever again. Shit, tomorrow it won't be no Israel. So you gotta start making some sense. Where are you going with this protest bullshit? At some point, you're not making no sense. Are you saying the Gaza Strip, when you get on here and say they losing their family and everything over there, which we understand, but when you get to some point, you putting all that above what's going on the soil here in the fucking America, bruh. So you won't worry about the Gaza, but say, all right, fuck it. You just go ahead. If Trump wins, he just win. Then your ass is suppressed. If you're a woman, you can't have no abortion. You have no rights to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Now we're looking in the world of no popular education. We're looking at the world of racism and bigotry. We're looking at the world of motherfuckers getting deported all over America. This is what you want? What do you mean? So everything over in some fucking other country is more important than what the fuck is happening here? That don't even make sense. And then, like Tony said, we can't even take you serious. You only doing this shit to Democrats. That shit sounds dumb. Because you want to know why? Tony told y'all. Because when you take your dumb ass, if you ever was to take your ass over to Trump, you're going to get your ass locked up or some shit. Or beat up. That's why. So you think you're doing something and just going to one party? To me, that means you don't even really mean what you're saying. Because more than one party that's in the fucking government. So if you really meant what you were saying, or really meant this bullshit you're doing, it would be for all parties. Even libertarians, Green Party, whoever the fuck running. But that's not what you're doing. You don't pick Biden, call him Genocide Joe. Right? But your whole cause go down in tubes if the other motherfucker is the president. It's just the dumbest shit. It doesn't make no fucking sense. At some point, where your argument is going. Now you about to go out here for 3 days and make an ass of yourself and try to make up, and then they gonna send, Republicans gonna send some motherfuckers in the middle of your groups to try to burn some shit up or some shit and turn it into a fucking bonfire. All because y'all want you to be some jackasses. Then they gonna be some motherfucker so-called uncommitted. Really? At some point, she's gonna say, fuck you. And then your whole cause is gonna be over because if she say fuck you, the other nigga already said fuck you. What y'all left with? Like at some point, you gotta realize when somebody trying to help your dumb ass. Shit is get to some point, you stupid.
We're not weird. We are not weird. I might be a little weird. Hallie, back to you.
Hey, live your life. You know what I mean? Jacob Soboroff there in with the California folks. Jacob Sobo, thank you so much. Good to see you. We're going to be checking back in with you and others throughout the night as our special coverage here of the Democratic National Convention continues right here on NBC News Now.
This is it.
What if I told you that instead of setting up a green screen, you can just click a button into Script and get the same exact effect? So I have my project.
Right. Yeah. Brett's probably watching.
Is this live?
Yeah, we're live right now.
We're live?
Yeah, we're live. Yo, what is up? So, let's start off with Adam.
How are we doing?
Introduce yourself to the stream. We got Adam ×2 here.
I'm also Adam. My name's Adam Faze, and this is my best friend of 25 years.
Yeah. Our best friend of like 16 minutes maybe, but no, we've known each other for a while, yeah. Estranged lovers, actually, if we're going to be honest. But what brings you to the DNC?
I'm here with my friend Peter. We're actually shooting some content with this New York City council member named Chiose. He's like 24, represents Bed-Stuy and Crown Heights, and he's like trying to use as like a teaching, educational moment for his followers.
Should we have him on stream?
Absolutely, you should have him on stream.
He can promote whatever. Earlier we peaked at like 9 or 10K live. Wow. So if he can promote, or if he wants to promote anything. Yeah, so I guess we're just going to ask you the basic questions that we've been asking everyone. What issues are on the top of your mind?
I mean, I think for me, the number one issue is we cannot have Trump win this election in November. So everything is around that. For me, it's about the Supreme Court. It's about reproductive rights. It's about continuing the change that Biden's done for the last 4 years and not going in the wrong direction. So for me, it's like, what can I do to be helpful in the next 3 months to make sure that I did everything in my power to win in November?
Absolutely. Have you felt the momentum flip over the past few weeks?
Without a doubt. I mean, I think I can feel it even in my own two shoes. I don't think I would be here necessarily if the ticket hadn't switched. I think I'm really happy that for the first time it feels like our party realized that we needed to do something huge to help win.
Absolutely. Let's chat more. We're going to make our way around the room. This is Adam Faze. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and X at Adam Faze.
Faze is your last name, right?
Okay, I want to make sure. Not Faze Fan.
Cool. Yeah. You guys almost got sued by them, huh?
We did get sued by them.
Damn. Well, hey, we'll catch back up, man.
Okay.
You want to talk to us? Let's do it. Really quickly.
What's up?
All right, Olivia. I've wanted to meet you for so long.
Nice to meet you.
You're speaking this week?
I am speaking Wednesday night.
Wednesday night. Wow. Do you want to do an interview with us on stream in a second? Let's do this. Let's knock this one out really quickly.
All right.
So, you're next. You're after Olivia. We got a row of Gen Z creators. So, number one, introduce yourself to the stream. How old are you?
Isaiah Martin. I'm 26 years old. From Houston, Texas. Content creator.
And what brings you out to the DNC?
I'm ready to see Kamala Harris become our official nominee and become our next president. I'm so excited for it.
Defeat Donald Trump, stop Project 2025, and protect our rights for generations to come, right?
100%.
The institutions that exist right now could not exist if Donald Trump gets back in office. So what issues are most important to you personally?
Well, number one, I want to make sure that we never have to hear his whiny voice ever again. I'd do anything for that. But anyway, I mean, look, housing is a really big priority. And I think young people have been able to see that the cost of rent has been going up for quite some time. Kamala Harris has a great housing plan I'm really excited about.
Her housing plan is amazing. It's 3 million units, and it's incentivizes people to build new houses for first-time home buyers, I believe. So it is absolutely amazing. And I was talking to Micah Irfan earlier. You know him,
Right, that's my guy.
Yeah, he's amazing, and he loves housing. That dude like dreams about housing.
He does.
So we were talking about what kind of problems are solved by building more housing, and it's like every single problem. When it comes to homelessness, when it comes to the drug problems in America, when it comes to all of these different things that can be eased by building more housing. So why don't we do it? Why don't we?
Now's the time to do it.
Genuine question though, why haven't we? Do you know?
I don't
Is it like
know.
regulate? Is like what?
I don't know why we haven't done it, to be honest with you. But, you know, I think, look, Kamala Harris is the person that's going to be the president of the future. She's really going to be the person that takes us to this next level of American dominance. And so with this plan, this will be the right way for us to get this next generation up to a good start.
Absolutely. Would you be down to do a recurring live stream segment every day?
Let's do it.
Update tomorrow. We'll update everything.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Also, we'll hang out off stream.
Let's do it. Are you here for the whole thing?
We're here for 4. I live in Chicago, so if you want to link up whenever, hit me up. Yeah. Josh, you in?
Let's do it.
We are now talking to Isaiah's brother.
Joshua Martin, better known as Isaiah's.
You could have never guessed. They only look like you guys look alike.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what issues are at the top of your mind heading this election?
Top issues are affordability. Young people want to make sure they're able to buy homes after they graduate college, venture off into the world. Reproductive freedom. So women are able to make their own decisions about their own body and their own health care. And just being able to make sure, like how Tim Wall says, bring the fun back in politics, making sure that we can have people in office that reflect the values of all Americans, no matter where you come from.
Absolutely. And what's at stake for people in our generation, people our age? If Donald Trump gets back in office, what happens?
Literally, life as we know it is on the line. I mean, we look at what's on the ballot: civil rights, voting rights, LGBTQ rights, women's rights, not just access to abortion, but access to contraception as well. I mean, our health care is literally on the ballot, to where if you are under the age of 26, Donald Trump wants to actively kick you off your parents' health insurance plan. So if we look at what's at this stake in the election right now, it's everything.
100%. So, have you felt the momentum switch over the past few weeks?
I mean, I've seen an excitement through the Democratic Party. I've said it. I've gone back home. I mean, in Texas, we have everyone excited. I have frat guys coming up to me telling me that they're excited to vote. I got football players, cheerleaders, everyone coming up to me telling you're excited to vote. We have registered over hundreds of students right now at our campus in the University of Houston because people are just so excited to get out and vote for Kamala Harris and send Donald Trump and Project 2025 back in for good.
And last time we met in Texas, I think we had a different candidate. I think it was still Biden about a month and a half ago. Yeah, so it's interesting. It is an absolutely new vibe. We got to get going, but you want to do a recurring stream with your brother too?
Definitely.
Also, I live in Chicago, so let's hang out off stream. So,
awesome, let's do it.
Cool. Hey, also shout yourself out. Come shout yourself out.
Hey, follow me on all the platforms at Isaiah R. Martin, TikTok, Instagram, X, as they call it now.
Isaiah R. Martin. Do it, Midas Mighty. What about you?
Follow me on all platforms. Well, on X at Joshua R. Martin, on TikTok at Josh Martin TX, and on Instagram at Josh Trill. So
are you guys fans of Midas Touch?
Of course. Big fans of Midas Touch.
Midas Touch, they're fans of you guys. So let's keep ripping. Blue carpet?
Yeah.
Let's do an interview soon, but we gotta move over to the blue carpet. Later we'll be one minute.
With the DNC.
Okay.
Was one of those, were those our water bottles, Dave? Are these your water bottles? I believe.
What we're looking at right now is the DNC convention, where they have a live streamers platform where they got like 200 live streamers and YouTube creators, and they got them all on in DNC, and this is one of the creators right here.
Sorry. That's not the right entrance. Let's keep going. Sorry, guys. We're walking to the media booths right now on our way to the blue carpet at the DNC 2024. You just saw us in the creator lounge talking to people. Let me talk to my friend right here. Michael, what's up?
Hi.
How you feeling?
Good.
We are currently live. My bad.
Okay,
My bad.
Hello.
Do you want to talk to us real quick?
Yeah, I'll talk to you.
You good on camera?
I'm great on camera.
Let's do it for 3 minutes. What issues are most important to you?
Okay. Electing good human beings to office. The second, which I think is an issue because we have 500,000 elected seats in this country, and a lot of times people only look at the presidency and Congress, and they don't think about the local races from commissioner seats to city council races. So I think we should always talk more about that. Second, democracy. And if you all take a look here, one of my good friends, Michael Blake, he launched an organization called Kairos Democracy Project. The organization focuses on elevating communities of color, specifically Black communities, to engage with the challenges and the potential of democracy, which I think is really, really cool. And I think what is my third issue? This is my third issue.
Really quickly, hey Nate.
Rural voters.
Rural voters?
Yeah.
Nate, show the links in the QR code down there so they can check out Kairos Democracy Project. Give it the plug. Let's go.
I love your jacket.
Thank you, homie. Yeah, we gotta get moving to the blue carpet.
Okay, cool.
Save that third reason for me.
Wait. What is that? How you gonna have? What the fuck is that? You got something for black jobs with a white man spokesman? What are we doing that for? Like what? That was what was that? Like why is he there? And a joint behind him say black jobs. Like that's some bullshit Trump say, first of all. Like, what is that? Why did it even happen?
Is it to the right? Is the blue carpet to the left? Take it away. Excuse me. In about 20 minutes, we'll be speaking to politicians and surrogates on the blue carpet. And it's going to be great. And it's going to be wild. Maybe we can peek inside after, and we can go get a good view at the Crater Lounge upstairs. We've got an hour slot on the blue carpet. I don't know if we'll use the full hour, but we should. Sorry. Is this the blue carpet? Yeah, we have a slot from 6:30 to 7:30.
But not on the carpet.
On the carpet.
No. So this is just for content creators to ask questions with surrogates.
Yeah, we're creators. I'm with Midas Touch, and we have a.
Just starting with that. I'm with Midas Touch.
Okay, I'm gonna start. That's a learning lesson. Yeah. So we're good to go.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? We are currently live streaming to a few thousand.
Wait. That's funny. Like, if you're a content creator that all motherfucking Democrats already listen to and watch, as soon as you say that name, why you didn't just start with that? I watch that all the time. Hey, that's some shit. I'm trying to think, what's the Republican joint that'd be the same shit? Rush Limbaugh. Like, it's whoever the fuck over there, they'd be like, what the fuck? Oh my god, I do like the thing that they doing with the content creators though. I do think that's a slick idea because then you have unfiltered media walk around like CNN and Fox and all that stuff. That's filtered media though. It's like a media that making sure things are going correctly at all times. When you get somebody like this is just freelancing with Instagram or whatever the fuck you on, it's just you get unexpected things. You get things that's unhidden. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. the fact they did that is good too.
To walk past. Some of your favorite politicians. Anyone know Ro Khanna? Ever heard the name? Let's check chat. I do apologize that I haven't been able to check chat a lot, but guys, if you have any questions you want me to ask politicians, I can do that for you. A top-notch live stream. I appreciate that. Rick O, that donation means more than you know. This live stream was very stressful to set up, so every single bit of support means so much to me, and it helps us do this more in the future.
Again, everybody tuning in tonight, appreciate you a whole lot, man. We just following the DNC convention with that's gonna nominate Mrs. Harris to the motherfucking first black lady to be nominated to a major party. You know what I'm saying? It's history in the making.
1 second, let me send off a text.
Right here, what we're watching is content creators that they allow in the DNC, and they give them a little part right there, content creator spot where they be at, and they doing their thing there. And this is one of the content creators right here.
It was kind of, we were finding our bearings. I think we did like, we were kind of just where the best places were. During the second hour, we had some really cool people hop on stream.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
We're coming up on a major fundraiser.
Now look, one thing I did last week, the first time I ever did in my whole life, was contribute to a candidate. It was Kamala, the first black lady. Is what I did that with.
Else rather than themselves, and that's what he did.
Let's take you live to the stage right now. The Reverend Jesse Jackson there, along with the Reverend Al Sharpton.
And his sons.
And yeah, Reverend Jesse's son's with him as well. Of course, Reverend Jackson, a hero here in Chicago. He worked so long, the Rainbow Push Coalition based here, as other members of the Jackson family come in. Reverend Jesse Jackson also has an incredible history when it comes to presidential elections, running in 1984, running in 1988, coming very, very close, and being always a major voice and later a power broker within the party. I can tell you right now, everyone in the convention hall on their feet is a standing ovation for a man who's dedicated his life to the Democratic Party and to the causes and the rights of African Americans.
Most definitely.
Don Calloway, as you look at this, you wanted to weigh in. Tell me your thoughts.
My sons are to my left, my longtime friend, Senator, to my right from Missouri. This is an extraordinary moment. We have to remember that Jesse Jackson was on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel on April 4th, 1968. There is a long period in the 1980s where he is the center of African-American political life. So I'm so happy to see him get his flowers tonight just before the president. Jesse Jackson is an extraordinary American, and this is just a remarkable moment.
You know, and he really set the stage for people like the Reverend Al Sharpton. I covered his presidential campaign. There was a great book written called Thunder in America about the 84 campaign. And what Jesse Jackson was able to do with that campaign, essentially run as an outsider before that term was probably even coined, right? And then get to 88 and really give Democrats a run for their money. It was an incredible story.
It was an incredible story, and he won states. He won real delegates who represented him and voted for him on the floor of the Democratic National Convention. There is a through line from Dr. King to Jesse Jackson to Barack Obama and Kamala Harris. So this is extraordinary.
And an incredible communicator, too. I mean, you can't say enough.
I'll never forget the night of Super Tuesday in 2008. And then we were in a small gymnasium here in Chicago with it was like several hundred people, but it wasn't a huge crowd. And it was the night that everybody realized that Barack Obama was going to get the nomination. And I looked over to the side, and there quietly, standing against the wall, was Jesse Jackson with tears coming down his face. And I'll never forget that. And what a poignant moment that was, because he realized realize that what he'd worked for all those years was actually going to be realized.
Democrats can't get to the presidency. They can't get to the White House without the African-American vote. Talk to me about what Kamala Harris now at the top of this ticket means for African-Americans.
It's a special moment for African-Americans, for Indian-Americans, and particularly for women. Hillary Clinton obviously put a million cracks into that glass ceiling, and we don't know that Kamala Harris would have gotten there were it not for this extraordinary circumstance, but that's okay. Sometimes it takes extraordinary circumstances for history to be made. Obviously, she's not the first woman who was qualified or the first African-American who was qualified, but this is a special moment, and it really is historical. But the reality is that she is a substantive candidate who's qualified to be president. So let's not get lost in the historical value of the moment. Let's recognize that she's prepared and qualified to do the job.
I'll tell you something I did notice, and tell me why this is. I'm pulling into the convention hall, and I see vendors on the streets, and they're selling T-shirts with Kamala Harris's face on it. I don't remember seeing that for President Biden. I didn't see that for Hillary Clinton. It's been a while since I've seen that type of enthusiasm. What is it about her that you can get people, vendors like that, selling shirts? It happens a lot on the Trump side, but it hasn't happened in a while since I would say President Obama was running.
It's the recognition of the shift that this is a cultural moment now, and you cannot win the presidency, particularly as a diverse candidate, without grabbing the attention of the culture at some point. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, that's something that Joe Biden was not able to do. He is an extraordinary president, extraordinarily successful legislatively, but he had not yet captured the zeitgeist. It shows that that transition has happened for this Harris-Walz campaign.
Mark, I want to bring you in. It's been a tough couple of weeks for the Trump campaign. It seems like the former president hasn't figured out yet exactly how to run against Kamala Harris, right? He's focused on strange things like he's better looking, he says, than she is. He's focused on other things that maybe voters wouldn't really care about, crowd sizes, AI, things like that. Do you think he's just sort of lost it a little bit, become undisciplined, or were they so confident they were going to win this that now with this new candidate they've been thrown for a curve?
Well, I think if you actually break down what he's saying, he is covering all the major issues. He's talking about the economy. He's talking about energy prices. He's talking about the border. He is obviously, going on, mentioning the other items that you've mentioned. And that's what I know many in the media like to focus on. But for those who are actually listening to what he says, he's actually talking about real policy solutions to lower gas and grocery prices, to deal with the southern border. Well, basically, Kamala Harris has zero policies on her website. She's got more pronouns than policy, and good vibes and energy isn't going to deal with the issues that really matter to the American people. And I think that's why she's not going even further in the polls. She's technically still losing based on where Joe Biden was in 2020 by 5 to 6 points, where he was then versus now.
Right, but there are polls right now that show her ahead of former President Trump, especially in some swing states. John, I do want to get to you. Republicans do have a point. No news conferences. There's been no sit down with a major interviewer, right? They're talking about unscripted moments. The New York Times today pointing out on their own website, there's no policies there. What's going on?
Well, it's significant that Kamala Harris has chosen not to let the media shape the narrative of her campaign. She gave her first major policy speech last week, but she recognized that to some significant degree, mainstream media tanked President Biden's candidacy and had a lot to do with him getting out of here, and she's not going to let that happen to her.
Claire, you know this. Voters deserve to hear from candidates unscripted. Don't the voters deserve to hear from her? Unscripted challenge. She's going to have to face off with people like Vladimir Putin, with Kim Jong-un, right? Shouldn't voters know that she can stand there tested?
I think they will before the election. And, with all due respect, the policies that Trump talks about, it's not like there's a lot of detail there. He says, like, I'll get it to you in 2 weeks, my health care policy. It's going to be better than Obamacare.
I think the comparisons were to like Hillary Clinton, who came out with lots of policies. Joe Biden, 110-page document when he ran.
That's been a problem for the Democrats. They get so far in the weeds on policy, they lose the narrative that they're the ones fighting for the people.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's fighting for Donald Trump. That's very clear. What's going to be clear after this week is that the Democrats are fighting for the people of this country, and I think her policies will reflect that.
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't remember any of Trump's speeches being full of policy, just grievance.
Claire, I want to ask you a tough question. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to tell our director to pull up the New York Times story we had from the weekend. It was a profile, right? And legendary Democratic strategist James Carville was quoted in this, right? And it was about politicians who stay in office too long. And he says, it's a human story that repeats itself. He says, hell, the day after Bill Clinton got elected and everyone knew I wasn't going into government with him, the phone just stopped ringing. I used to literally get the shakes thinking nobody gave a crap about me anymore. That's why the only way people leave Washington is in a pine box or in handcuffs. This power stuff is addictive. Do you think Carville's read on this is right? Is that why it took President Biden so long to maybe realize that this wasn't his time anymore?
I think history is full of folks that have a hard time letting loose of power and have a hard time measuring their power in terms of not going too far. I think we've got a good example of that in Donald Trump. He doesn't want his power to be limited by anything. He's said he'll do away with the Constitution on day one. Now, I don't care if it's hyperbole or not. It's a stupid thing to say in the United States of America. So I do think that I've seen tragic examples of people staying in Washington too long. And I say to all of my friends who are getting on in years, come on out here in the real world. It's fine. I feel guilty. I'm so happy I'm not in Washington anymore.
Yeah. Mark, final question to you. When do you think sort of the Trump campaign?
Is Trump a fucking comedian or he run for president? Why every dumbass, jackass thing he say, motherfuckers say, oh, he's just joking. What the fuck you mean? When is he not joking then? Shit don't make sense. Like, when is he ain't joking? I ain't seen him laugh yet. Fuck was this?
I ain't seen him motherfucker joking.
Like, fuck that.
Like he serves some motherfucker to me.
Illegal immigrants, soft on crime. Now she wants to raise taxes and take basically a page of socialism with government price controls. All we have to do is use Kamala's words against her, and the American people know that's not the answer. Things were more affordable. The world was safer. Our border was more secure when Donald Trump was in office. All the other problems.
See them lies. See how he just lied right there?
That's what they do.
It was all a lie.
That's what they do.
Why be saying, like, I want anybody watching right now that's a Trump defender or like Trump. Just look at the numbers. Well, who crime rate is lower? Who unemployment rate is lower? Who unemployment rate is lower? Who crime rate is lower? Who stock market is higher? It's just real simple.
Can't do that.
Like, I don't understand what's the debate. When they get up and just say that, wow, these announcers gonna be like, bro, you supposed to be intellect. Like, man, you come off the fucking street. We supposed to say some dumb shit like he just said. He know that's ignorant what he's saying, but saying it any fucking way.
Oh,
ain't that
because the people he's talking to believe anything he says, so he can say anything. If you know you talk to a bunch of people that believe anything you say,
specifically the people that be on TV talking, trying to defend some of that shit. Like they look stupid.
They know they look stupid. The dumbest people too. They gotta say something. You know, they gotta try to flip it around, like what she's saying ain't good or she's saying some crazy shit.
You can't sit there and let them lie like that. Oh, everything was just better. Water was better. This was better. Why you let them say that? That's my point. Like, why you letting them say that?
Problem. That's the problem.
Appreciated. Oh, Ryan, that is so appreciated. The alignment keys. Thank you. No oligarchs. Sandra Avalos. I'm sorry if I can't read all the chats. That is Patty Warner. LVC. Virginia. Joshua Cole. Joshua Cole. You guys can keep track better than I can. And that guy was amazing. Joshua Cole might be my favorite conversation next to Noah. I also really like the dude with the pride jacket on. It was sort of a pride jacket with all the stuff written on it. That dude was super, super cool. We have just met some amazing personalities. Someone in chat said I need more jokes. Not true. Haley, are you next? Are you next in line? Nice. When does Biden speak? You want to talk to us for a second? We're filling that air. Just let us know when you need to cut.
I got you. You do a video or picture? The picture.
Introduce yourself to the live.
What do you think, Biden? You think Biden gonna come in this joint and say What do you think he gonna talk about? What do you think Biden gonna say?
He gonna talk about his record, and he gonna pass the torch. He gonna talk about his record. He gonna talk about the record they did.
We should be back in clear. We should be back in clear. You know what?
Oh, go ahead.
He gonna talk about the record him and Kamala Harris got in the office together. What else can he talk about? He got to do something to pass the torch off to her. So the only thing he can do, really, is come in. He'll talk about the things he done. I mean, it's a tribute to him anyway. So he'll talk about his record. Then he'll bring her in and basically pass the torch to her. And for the rest of the week, it's all about her.
So you think he should go in on motherfucking Trump the whole time when he talking?
Nah, he don't have to. He don't have to.
Who gonna do it then?
Everybody else gonna do it.
I think he gonna do it.
Structure and two-parent households, but then they want to ban contraception, ban abortion, ban IVF, any sort of things that can help people take preventative measures. So I see contraception.
So past preventative measures, we look at reproductive justice as about being able to raise a family in a safe, affordable, healthy way, and they don't care about life after the child is born and passing policies that help raise children in a way that's affordable and healthy and gives them good education and gives them good access to food and any of these things.
Yeah, it's funny. We're on the blue carpet, so everyone's gonna be like, "Who's this politician?" This is Congresswoman Haley Lichtstein.
Thanks. Go to dream. All right.
Go back to your setup, though. Yeah.
The two things I'm really looking for through the whole joint is one, ready tonight, because they got things for every night. Things for the night, things for the next night. I just think Biden himself should come on and say what was going on when he first walked in the office. Explain the situation, explain what he was looking at, explain, man, we're talking about 9% inflation. We're talking about motherfucking wars, pandemic, and the economy tanking. People losing their jobs, can't even go to work. It was crazy. Losing family members, dying. You can't even go to their funeral. The shit was just over the top stupid. Like, remind people of that shit and then go into what he done to fix that shit. Because he did that. Because some people will be like, all right, like, anything she say she gonna do, somebody will be like, why you ain't been do it? First of all, she vice president first. Second, Biden had all this other shit to do. Third, half of that he did try, and Republicans blocked it all. For example, John Lewis Voting Rights Act blocked by Republicans, right? ASAP, they blocked it. The motherfucker George Floyd bill blocked 100 times by the Republicans. That's after people getting shot and killed in the streets, right? So those two bills right there he could have passed this year on top of all the shit he did. And he could have passed the motherfucking border bill, the strictest border bill in history. If Trump ain't tell Republicans not to vote against that. So Republicans voting against everything they whining about. It's the stupidest shit. What you think, John?
You coming from, but I expect some of that, but I don't expect a lot of that. I expect a little bit of everything, because tonight is they giving Biden his props tonight. That's what it's about. So they ain't you gonna see a little bit of everything.
And he got, I think, Jasmine Crockett coming on here too tonight.
She's coming on there.
That's my
Steve
baby.
Kerr coming on there.
Who?
Steve Kerr speaking. There's a lot of people speaking tonight.
Did you say Steve Kerr?
Yep.
Steve Kerr on it?
Yep.
And you know why? Because the gun situation, he real deep into that. Gun violence and shit.
Yep.
So yeah, that's coming in effect. Same thing with Quavo. Quavo coming in effect with the gun violence. Me too.
When it comes to Gaza, it's been a problem for Democrats. Progressives have not been happy with the way that Palestinians, especially those children in Gaza, have been treated. The war is ongoing.
Yeah,
There is no ceasefire. Where do you land on it?
We need a ceasefire, right? And I know the vice president has called for that, but we also know that what we've been doing out there, frankly, you know, I'm not a foreign policy expert, but I don't think you need to be one to know that what we're doing hasn't been working. The strategy that we've been using hasn't been working. The hostages are still there, and there's still a war going on. And ultimately, I got involved in this because of violence at my school. I don't want to see this horrific violence continue anywhere, period.
Yeah. You know, in every election, people talk about the young vote. The young vote, will the young vote matter? Do you think the young vote turns out in 2024, and why?
Well, it will. It will turn out and vote because we've been voting consistently at the highest rates ever in American history for the past 3 election cycles. And we know that when people vote 3 times, they basically vote for the rest of their lives, or they're much less.
I can't do the Palestinian thing, bro. I can't do them. I'm not feeling them. I can't work with them like this. You know, it's like they're not even workable. You can't work with these clowns. It's just their way or no other way. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I don't get it, you know. And then the things they asking for is completely out of the president power, let alone the vice president. It's just odd as fuck, bro. It just don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the bigger pictures, like, damn, they asking a lot from a president from the United States when you got beef with the Israel president and the shit he doing, and you expecting them to do something. Now, I get the part where they say, all right, but America and Israel, right? So at some point, you got to concede to the fact that if America is not helping Israel in any way, shape, or form, when you wake up tomorrow, it's not going to be an Israel. As soon as they wake up to that and stop this bullshit, it's like, what do they do? I don't know. I'm not really a real policy, like foreign. I don't really know all that shit. I just look at shit and just be like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, why y'all over the top? Then you don't even protest the Republicans. So it's hard for me to take you serious with this shit, bro. Me personally, I get you. I got my own shit I want done. You know what I'm saying? Gun violence, environment, make sure the school's good for my kids coming up. All that good shit. But goddamn, if you're taking your one issue is some shit overseas, that I can't, it's hard for me to get that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And I get the whole situation over there, but goddamn. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You was in Iraq. How you feel about the whole? I don't know. How you feel about this? I never asked you about this before. How you feel about the whole Gaza thing?
I mean, it's like I understand why Israel is there. I do. But my thing is for them that's here in America, they know what's going on. They know it's Hamas. Why they not telling their people to protest Hamas to get them out of their country? That way, they can have a life. They know the reason why they there is because Hamas attacked Israel. You've seen that. You know that. And they still got hostages. So if you knew that and you live in America, you raised in America, I understand that you don't want the innocent people to die, children to die. Some of them got family over there. But at the same time, you knew that already before the war began. You should have been already telling your family, hey, y'all need to start protesting Hamas and getting them out of there or something. You know, y'all need to have a civil war or something. Y'all know, but here it is, y'all here, but y'all feed that propaganda from there to here, and it's being double-sided.
It's just like they got it, like in Michigan, they got the uncommitted. They there tonight. I don't know if they're gonna blow it up or not. I don't know what they're gonna do. They in there though. So they got right, Tony. I don't know if they there or not. They in there, Tony. The uncommitted. They inside the joint.
I mean, you got uncommitted Democratic voters. I doubt it. Nah, you ain't got no uncommitted people in there.
Inside,
most of them people in there is delegates.
I'm talking about uncommitted delegates. Yeah, they in there. I think.
They go 30 of them.
30.
30 something of them.
Yeah, I just don't get that point sometimes. I don't get it. I just don't get it. The other side don't give a fuck. He gonna get the whole thing to Israel, let them do what they want. Period.
Because if you think you got an upper hand where you can get something, you're gonna try your hand. The uncommitted delegates think they can get something on the platform or they can get something somewhere, so they're gonna hold out until they realize they can't get it. It's the same way with the protesters. Protesters the same fucking way. You're not gonna go protest Donald Trump because Donald Trump is not gonna give you shit. But to disrupt and to protest and disrupt the Democratic convention, whereas they the ones that will listen to you and you will probably get, if not what you want, some of what you want. It don't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's like at some point, what the hell are you doing here? That's like Martin Luther King get to the point where they about to have the civil rights bill. He just say, you know what? I'm about to go back and protest you. Like, what the fuck? You gotta let the person that want to help you your ass first, motherfucker. You ain't give him a chance to help. She been the motherfucking nominee for 3 weeks. Like, can you give her a chance, bro? Like, it doesn't make sense if you be here Riley screaming and hollering when you ain't hearing what she's saying yet. It just doesn't make sense. And then what is it you want her to say? She's not president. All she gonna do is say she want a ceasefire and the hostages home. What else can she want? Like, what else is left?
I don't think they're going to be here. For one, they're just giving them a platform and voice so they could be like, okay, you're being heard. Because Trump ain't doing that. Because Trump already said,
I don't take him serious at all. Like, if you was at the Republican joint, I would really take you serious. But you just going to one party doing this and then threatening them without you not voting for them. If I'm her telling you, fuck your vote. If you gonna make me go through all that for your fucking vote in a city where you know if he the president will fuck you and your family up worse than somebody in Gaza shit. Like, come the fuck on. We got kids dying in our streets in America. You don't give a fuck about that? You got women suppressed in America. You don't give a fuck about that? You gonna put all that in the sky and think your ass gonna live here? Take your ass over there, which is gonna happen anyway. When if Trump be president, he's gonna get rid of all your ass, and your ass would be over in Gaza. See how that shit feel when you there then? When you deport everybody the fuck over there. The shit dumb. To me, hold up. You got something to say, Tom?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Shit stupid, bro. It look like they is Biden about to talk? No.
Biden is not going to talk till 10 o'clock.
Who the first one gonna talk?
I don't know. They talking now. Y'all looking at the wrong shit.
Who talking? Anybody?
Yeah, somebody talking. Some black lady.
See what I mean?
She the host.
He don't even know who it is.
Nah, just turn it on.
No, I'm watching CNN. She's the host of the whole Democratic Day One. Every day should have a different host. Steve Kerr going to be on this on tonight.
Yeah, someone just told. Yeah, I remember he's with the gun violence joint too.
Yeah. His father.
Oh yeah, something happened with his father. Yeah.
His father was overseas. His father was overseas. It was a delegate overseas or something. He got killed.
Right.
States. We have come so far these past 4 years, and we're not going back. Thank you.
There's something else I want to talk about too. The not
My name is Rich Loges.
The
I
not
live in
going
Florida.
back joint is a way better motherfucking campaign strategy than what Biden was doing, right? Biden was more of Trump is a threat to society type shit, right? And she switched it around to I'm just hopeful and joyful. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it's just a contrast. Like when you see him on TV, he's not gonna be hopeful and joyful, right? So it's gonna be an automatic contrast. When they say weird, right? you know, from this point on, they're gonna say more weird shit, right? So it's gonna fall into everything she's doing, right? And by her setting up a campaign as a happy, joyful campaign, and then when you hear him talk, it's not gonna be none of that. She just set it up just the opposite alone, without her saying anything, right? Without her even opening her mouth, she set the campaign up just for your visual. Y'all feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying, Tony?
Yeah, I see.
It's like she set it up where, without saying things out of her mouth yet, the visual, right? Just the visual of those two, she set it up where that's weird. They gonna say weird shit from here and the end, right? So her campaign of joyful is gonna contrast with him talking about the world about to end all the time. You feel me? So that's what I heard
for the last 2 weeks.
But that's what I heard saying anything, right? That's just the contrast of you looking at those two. You feel me? See, Biden didn't have a campaign where it was a contrast before I talked. You feel me? It was just two old men. You feel me? Then he contrasted even more when he said, "You just like an alley cat" and stuff like that. It made it even worse. It compounded. It made him look even older and more whiter. You feel me? Of two people, it's just the dynamic was crazy. You feel me? So he didn't have a campaign where you look at the visual and then you can make a decision off of the visual. You feel me? She set her campaign up to you looking at the visuals and then what they say out their mouth. You know, shit they say out their mouth from this point on gonna be weird as fuck. So they set it up for weird, right? They set up the whole campaign themselves for joyful, happy campaign. And you know, every time he talk, it's not gonna be joyful and happy, right? So she set it up for what I heard doing, saying words, just the visual. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's a smart way to campaign this joint. I think that right there is what made her have more numbers, right? Because now it's not Trump about to end the world, right? It's just more of I feel good about America. Follow me. You feel me? It's real different. I don't know, y'all. What y'all think? Look, we ghetto motherfucking analyzers. You know what I'm saying?
I could say, I think that was a smart move. What they did was at first, as they was coming out, as he dropped out, as Biden dropped out, you know, they found a slogan for them first. Hey, let's get them a quick slogan that we could put in everybody's head and we can stop saying it. So weird was one of them. Weird was a good one. Because now everything you say is going to be weird.
Yeah, because that's what they say is dumb shit. Yeah.
So now we stop. Now we as a party stopped calling you weird. Now we moved on to we're not going back. We're gonna say that for a few. We're gonna let the crowd feel that for a few, and then when the crowd starts feeling, we're gonna stop saying it, and then we're gonna start feeding off with the energy of the crowd, whatever the crowd logo is. But it's gonna be based off of happiness and loving and freedom. I think Beyonce's song is gonna be her
freedom song. Come on, exactly. And then you just get a contrast when he come on automatically. So I just think the setup of the campaign just so vicious, bro. I'm starting to get mad at her now because it's like she sat back there knowing she can run a better campaign, but was not saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just like
it's not that she got help. Remember, she still got his whole campaign staff. But
it's not been running at all. They're not running nowhere near the same. It's like a lot of shit she knew what to do, they wasn't doing with him. They doing that.
It's a difference because everybody can say that he's old. You know, he couldn't really hit on his crimes like she can. Because why? Because he's saying they weaponized him against me. So, you know, you can't use that. So he couldn't say nothing about that. So there's certain things he was limited as to get his campaign going because of the things Trump was already counteracting for it. So when she came about, that's why his campaign all fucked up right now, because all his money went to, like I told y'all before, Biden. So now he can't even campaign the way he wants to because of the major switch.
Let's tap in. We're gonna see the difference of, you know what I'm saying, attitude and atmosphere in the two camp. We watched their Republican joint when they came out too.
To the United States because she believed in the American dream. I'll never forget the day that I became a United States citizen. I raised my right hand and I pledged an oath to protect and to love this country. It was the proudest day of my life. My mom taught me to love this country. She taught me that real American patriotism is not about screaming and yelling America first. Real American patriotism is loving your country so much that you want to help the people in your country. That is American patriotism. And we all know that Kamala Harris understands and knows this as well. Kamala Harris is ready to lead this country. We can all remember 2020. We can all remember the horrors of Donald Trump. But let's remember, most importantly, tonight and every single day this week, that we are not going back. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan from Kamala HQ. We have a little game we like to play here called Two Lies and a Lie. We list out 3 things Donald Trump has said, and then we try to figure out if any one of them is true, which they're not. Let's play. First up, jobs. Trump claims his administration created more jobs than we ever had before. He says we had the greatest economy ever, and then we got hit with COVID, and he says he created a manufacturing jobs miracle. Let's dig in. More jobs than we ever had before? Trump lost 3 million jobs. In fact, he's the first president to lose jobs since Herbert Hoover. What about this claim that it was the greatest economy ever and only COVID tanked it? Once again, no. Let's take a look at his track record on jobs before COVID as compared to the Biden-Harris administrations. What do you know? Hardly the most successful ever. And about his supposed manufacturing miracle, Trump talked a big game, but actually lost 178,000 manufacturing jobs. And just to be clear, it wasn't just COVID here either. Manufacturing jobs were already on their way down before the pandemic. So that's round 1. And it looks like what we have here is 2 lies and another lie. You get the hang of it? I'll see y'all in a little bit.
Donald Trump downplayed COVID while Americans were living in fear. He lied about creating jobs while our communities were fighting to survive. But the Biden-Harris administration stepped up. They actually took decisive action to create jobs, support small businesses, and rebuild a stronger and more resilient economy. Kamala Harris is a leader we can trust, even in our most challenging moments, especially in those moments. Donald Trump dithers, Kamala Harris delivers. Donald Trump abandons vulnerable people, Kamala Harris protects them. Donald Trump bullies scientists, Kamala Harris believes them. Our next 2 speakers will tell us why that's so important. Please welcome Brian Wallach and Sandra Abravaya.
In 2008, we met while working on the Obama-Biden campaign. We found our way there because we believe in the power of organizing. Then we found each other. The day we brought our second daughter home from the hospital, Brian was diagnosed with ALS. I was told I had 6 months to live. That was 7 years ago. We could not change Brian's diagnosis, but we knew how to organize. So we co-founded a nonprofit called I Am ALS, and thousands of terminally ill patients fought for new therapies, $1 billion to fund ALS research, and earlier access to treatments, all of which President Biden signed into law. We will also keep fighting alongside patients living with Parkinson's, young onset dementia, and Alzheimer's. We've seen just how relentless activism can beat the odds, just like what Brian has been doing for 7 years. And that is what we need right now to elect Kamala Harris. She's the daughter of a breast cancer researcher. She knows the promise of science and that patients need to be able to get the care they need wherever they live. We all want to make life better for the next generation and believe that people like Brian can be the first generation of survivors.
It's a couple things about that right there, right? One is you'll never see Trump putting somebody up there the form or challenge in any kind of way. He's not going to do that. He might make fun of them. So that stood out too. The fact that, and then you got Camilla. What she said, Camilla mother was a breast cancer researcher, right? So that fits into what Biden was doing with his cancer moonshot, which is close to me and my family too. It's like that right. The cancer itself, man, that touched a lot of families. So even Republican can't hide from that. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they putting an emphasis on trying to find a way to cure cancer is real important, bro. What's up, Tom?
Damn, that all goes into healthcare.
You got echo. Go ahead.
What the fuck going on? You still here?
Yeah, go ahead.
That goes all into healthcare, you know what I'm saying? But you got a lot of people out here that got, I say, certain ailments that need that research need to be done. Cancer, shit, more AIDS research, a whole lot of shit. So that hit a home on a lot of people. It's about the people you talking to. It's about hitting home with stuff that like you say they can relate to that affect them. If you got the other side ain't talking about shit, You gotta, you just gotta put yourself out there. That should have rule itself out. The people that's paying attention gonna see that shit. They ain't talking about shit, but this person over here, she really talking about issues.
Exactly. That's the difference you can really see.
He promised to deliver infrastructure, but he failed. His record was defined by failure. To put it another way, Donald Trump is like a bad boss. You want time off to take care of your sick parents? Ask Donald Trump. Denied. In Donald Trump's America, there is no paid family leave. Want to have a child, but need IVF? Too bad. That's shut down too. Want a pay raise? Too bad. The boss just gave himself one, so there's nothing left for you. Donald Trump reminds us of a boss we all had. The guy who thinks he's a very stable genius, but is driving the company into the ground. Now get this. Donald Trump did make history. Let's give him credit. He is one of only 2 presidents in the history of the United States to leave office with fewer Americans working than when he started. Now he wants a chance to make America unemployed again. On the other hand, let's take a look at the record of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They recovered all those millions of jobs that Trump watched slip away. They added over 6 million jobs on top of that. 16 million jobs in total. 16 million. Today, more roads are getting fixed, more factories are being built, more Americans are working construction, and more auto workers are making cars than on any month when Trump was president. And we know behind every job is a person or community forever changed. Data centers in Wisconsin, semiconductors in Pennsylvania, electric vehicles in Michigan. Yes. Hello, Michigan. These investments mean strong economy, growing public schools, and well-funded, well-staffed first responders. These investments mean hope. That's what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are fighting for. They'll fight for the places that are too often left behind. Fight to change lives and uplift communities. Fight to bring back American manufacturing. My friend, Ed Smith, a giant of the Illinois laborers, he's a great fellow. We lost him this year. But Ed Smith told us there's joy in this battle. When we win, we help people buy their first homes, send their kids to college, and retire with dignity. Incidentally, that happens to be my family's story too. My mom and dad worked for the railroad. Because we were a strong union family, we were able not just to get by, but to get ahead. That's the American economy Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are fighting for. Let's join that fight and build it together. Now let's hear from some union workers on the ground in Arizona, thanks to the Biden-Harris administration investment in America.
Welcome to Phoenix. Donald Trump said he'd bring back American manufacturing, but Joe Biden and Kamala Harris actually did it. Thanks to them, plumbers and pipe fitters like us are building the factories, semiconductor plants, and data centers of the future. We are hard at work in Phoenix, Mesa, Goodyear, Chandler, and more. Our neighborhoods, schools, and local businesses are growing. Sometimes we have so many projects that we send fabrication out to other states. Our local union is now up to 4,800 trades members. That's up from 2,800 in 2020, thanks to Joe and Kamala.
And it's an exciting time for us in the next generation. Our apprenticeship program now trains over 1,100 people a year. Every year at local high schools, when they announce what graduated seniors are doing next, more and more of these kids are joining the trades. My son is a senior in high school this year, and he plans to join us. Not just for the great career and the financial security that all us parents want for our kids, but it's because he's excited to work on the cutting edge of innovation. Kamala Harris will keep investing in American manufacturing. With her commitment, there's nothing that us American workers can't build.
Please welcome Ohio Representative Joyce Beatty.
Good evening. I'm Joyce Beatty, and I'm proud to represent Ohio in Congress. I was born in the Buckeye State, and I've never left. Now, J.D. Vance likes to talk about how he's from Ohio, but as soon as he could, he ran away to Yale and Silicon Valley, cozying up with billionaires while trashing our communities. JD has been our senator for 18 months. And what has he done for hardworking Americans? Nothing. He's been busy writing the foreword to the book from the Project 2025 guy. While JD and Donald Trump have been sharing conspiracy theories from the darkest corners of our internet, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have been busy expanding access to the internet, while the other guys have been criticizing women without children. Joe and Kamala have been expanding the child tax credit. And let me just tell you, cutting the poverty rate for our children. Kamala and Joe Biden have been also at the same time reducing the price of health care for our seniors. And yes, securing a cap of $35 on insulin. And as JD and Trump, they want to take us back to the past. Kamala and Joe have been bringing the jobs of the future to America today. With the CHIPS Act, a $280 billion investment. And that's not just a big number. It means new semiconductor plants and thousands of good-paying jobs. You see, I worked with Kamala to pass it, and I saw her leadership style up close, a rare combination of brilliance, legal expertise, and patience. You see, it's simple. JD and Trump like to talk about states like Ohio, but Kamala and Joe actually get stuff done for us. And so does our next vice president and my good friend, Governor Tim Walz. America, are you ready to build on our progress? Are you ready to turn out for leaders who know that action speaks louder than words? Are you ready to vote for Kamala Harris? Are you ready to put people over politics once and for all? Well, the era of joy and freedom is up on us. And now it is on us to go seize it. Thank you. God bless you.
Please welcome APSU President Lee Saunders, SEIU President April Barrett. Liuna General President Brent Booker, IBEW International President Ken Cooper, CWA President Claude Cummings, and AFL-CIO President Liz Schuler.
This big. This is a lot of unions right here. Now, man, I'm look back at motherfucking JD Vance motherfucking voting history. This nigga ain't sponsored nothing. He ain't vote on nothing. He ain't done shit since he been in that motherfucker, bro. I'm talking nothing.
She said he was
That's why
only
they
there for
should have picked
18.
his dumb ass.
He only been a politician for 18 months. That's it.
He ain't
He don't have no
sponsored.
experience in nothing.
Just nothing. Damn. Like, damn.
He's not even a top senator from his motherfucking state. He is like a junior senator.
Like she said, he probably was just writing that 20
Motherfucker,
project shit.
that was dumb to pick him.
I'm glad he did. It's a good thing. But overall, he kind of represent, like, let's say Trump wasn't racist or nothing, right? Outright racist. He would be JD Vance. And that's what I said about we'll have a problem if somebody can sophisticate this shit that Trump doing, right? And just package it up where it's not as fucking vile and racist as he got it, even though you doing the same policies. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Do you? What do you think? What do you think?
They want him to stay on script, but he don't have the intellectual. What is it? The intellectual.
Yeah, I know that.
He can't. What's the? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but he can't formulate it to where people can understand that it's not fear, but it's a reality. This can continue on, but then you can't look at the numbers lies. He lies with everything, so it's like you can't trust nothing he says. Because if go and pull it up, they gotta fact check everything he say for now on. I mean, when we started doing that in the world, they have to fact check everything he says.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't switch him out. He wasn't be a normal person, but still doing Project 2025, right? And I think JD Vance, he kind of a person that capples everything that Trump want to do, but Trump can't articulate. If you can hide the racism, hide the misogyny, right, and put up a different face, even though you're doing the same type of shit he doing, that's what I think is going to be more dangerous. You think, son?
That's why I don't believe. That's why I don't believe he's a good campaigner. Because if somebody who knew what the fuck they was doing, half the shit that he got out there wouldn't be out there. Project 2025 would not go out there. He wouldn't have been labeled as a racist. He wouldn't have been labeled as somebody who hate women. A lot of this shit that other Republicans, I'm gonna say shit. A lot of the shit that he is outward about, Ronald Reagan was the same shit, but Ronald Reagan was smart enough to keep that shit low and not broadcast what the fuck he was. That's why I just don't.
That's my point. If you can massage like a Reagan,
he's all of that.
Got away with this shit. He would have got away with Project 2025. He would have got away with motherfucking closing up Department of Education. He would have got away with all that shit if he was just a motherfucker that can hide all that, hide the racism, and hide the shit that he crazy talking about. And if it was somebody like JD Vance can hide all that and still do the policies, I think that's just more dangerous because he can pick up more votes of people just casually tuning in, not looking at him as a racist. But keep people casually tuning in see Trump as a racist as soon as they hear him. You feel me? Or they see him like women or black women, black people in general, when you hear him. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. If he can learn how to, not him, he'll never learn how to. But the people that do hide it, you see what I'm saying? They way more dangerous than him. They can pick up votes that he can't.
But they can't pick the votes up either because he the head of the snake. He the motherfucking head of the ticket. So whatever the fuck he is, that's what his motherfucking campaign is about. And he just dumb. He was this dude was a very popular dude amongst a lot of people who didn't know what he was or suspected what he was but couldn't prove what he was, or people that was willing to look past what he was. Then when he decided to jump out there and run for president, all of that shit came out. And he don't know how to put that shit back in the bottle. And that's why he's never 47. He get 47% of the vote, but he never going to hide in that because he can't appeal to nobody else. All he fucking can do is appeal to his base. That's why shit gonna get real. He gonna get real fucking ruckus before this whole campaign over with.
Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. The IBW powers America, from fire alarms to solar farms, nuclear plants to battery plants, storm restoration to power lines. And we've been doing it for over 130 years. Today, we're building a new energy future while providing great paying jobs and a stable retirement for all working families. Every step of the way, Kamala Harris has been there for us. She's bringing back American manufacturing to forgotten places throughout our country. She cast the deciding vote to save our pension plans. She's lifted our apprentices up all over the nation. And guess what? She's not afraid to use the word union. She has came through for all of us, and it's our turn to come through for her. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Claude Cummings Jr., president of CWA, the Communication Workers of America. We all saw the digital divide during the pandemic. Millions of American families didn't have access to high-speed internet at home. Too many kids were forced to go online class in McDonald's parking lots. But as Vice President, Kamala Harris helped pass the largest investment in broadband ever. She gave CWA members a seat at the table so we could work to connect every household to the internet while creating good union jobs. Listen, we don't play at CWA. And we're fired up. Are you fired up tonight? Are you fired up? Are you fired up? We're fired up to work with our next president, Kamala Harris.
I'm Liz Schuler, president of the AFL-CIO. Representing nearly 13 million American workers. This election is about two economic visions. One where families live paycheck to paycheck, where people have no right to join a union. A CEO's dream, but a worker's nightmare. Or an opportunity economy, where we lower the costs of groceries, prescriptions, and housing. Where we go after big pharma, corporate landlords, and price gougers. Where where there's no such thing as a man's job or a woman's job, or like Donald Trump would say, a black job. Just a good union job. That's the future our President Joe Biden has fought for. And that's the future Kamala Harris and Tim Walz will keep fighting for. Let's build it together.
Please welcome Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass.
A couple things, right? Come up. First of all, Kamala Harris is first. She broke the most tie-breaking votes in Senate history, right? 33 tiebreakers. Some of these are for the Inflation Act, votes for agriculture, votes for judges, black judges. She broke the tie on 33 tiebreakers, and that's most in history. A vice president breaking ties in the Senate. When I say break ties, is when it's 100-100. When the votes come down 50-50, when they come down tied either way, the vice president come down, and she literally then makes the choice of which way it goes. You know what I'm saying? It's up to her. You know what I'm saying? So, and 33 times she made the choices, and her choice was the choice that was made, which is crazy to me, bro. There's just something small to put in that joint, just in case anybody know.
The child welfare system. We wanted to make sure that California's foster youth aren't cut off and left on their own the day they turn 18. As Attorney General, Kamala created our state's Bureau of Children's Justice and worked to give children in the juvenile justice system the support they needed. And when I asked her to swear me in, the first woman vice president, swearing in the first woman mayor of Los Angeles, we knew we were sending a message to young girls everywhere that they too can lead. Now, I know Kamala, and she feels the importance of this work in her bones. When Kamala meets a young person, you can feel her passion. You can feel her heart, and you can feel her fearlessness. That is what defines a commitment to children, being willing to fight fiercely for every child. And trust me, Kamala has done that her entire life. So this November, we're gonna fight to elect Kamala Harris as the next president of these United States.
Please welcome Grammy-nominated country music star, Mickey Guyton.
How y'all doing? The lines on the interstate, the dust on the back road. We're a Friday night football game. The lighters at a rock show, with a night shift smoke break, high school heartache, driving with the windows down. With the dance floors, church pews, suit and ties, tattoos, one big small town. Ain't we all? Ain't we all? Ain't we all American? Ain't we all? Ain't we all American? With the stars in the Texas sky and the jukebox vinyl. How y'all doing? With the New York City lights and a hotel vibe home. Hand-me-down, tailor-made, Daisy Dukes, Dookie Braids, James Brown, James Dean. With cold beer, champagne, millionaires, spare some change, and everything in between. Ain't we all? Ain't we all American? Ain't we all? Ain't we all American? We got the same story, the same stripes. Just wanna live that good life. Ain't we all? Ain't we all American? Are you proud to be an American? Different in a million ways. But at the end of the day, oh, we're different in a million ways. But at the end of the day, ain't we all? Ain't we all American? Ain't we all? Ain't we all American? We got the same stars, the same stripes. Just wanna live that good life. Ain't we all? Ain't we all American? No matter your race, your creed, or your color, we're all Americans. And always remember that. Woo! All American. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow, wow. So anybody that don't know who that is a country singer raised in Texas. And she won awards. She moved to Nashville, Tennessee in 2011. And she's a gorgeous black lady doing country music. You know what I'm saying? Nah. I love it. Candace Golden. I love it.
We look ahead to our collective future. It's important to reflect on all the incredible progress that we've made in the last 4 years and laid the groundwork for a stronger, more resilient nation. They invested in critical infrastructure, delivered relief when disaster struck, and made healthcare more affordable. Kamala Harris cares. And unlike Donald Trump, she has a plan, not just for the next 4 or 8 years, but for generations to come. Now, let's hear from some of my fellow state executives about how Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are investing in the long-term future for our nation.
I'm Pennsylvania's Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis. I'm the proud son of a union bus driver from Pittsburgh. Every day, my dad would come home and tell me about how our roads and bridges were in disrepair. President Trump promised us Infrastructure Week over and over again. He really didn't care, though, and it never happened. But President Biden and Vice President Harris are on our side. They brought together Democrats and Republicans to get it done. We got I-95 in Philly fixed in less than 2 weeks. We repaired the Fern Hollow Bridge in Pittsburgh in record time. Right now, we're repairing roads and bridges across Pennsylvania, including in Pittsburgh, the city of bridges. And Vice President Harris is looking forward. She's committed to keeping our infrastructure safe and modern. When I think about the future, I think about my daughter, Harper, and all of America's children. Investing in them means investing in our infrastructure. It means replacing millions of lead pipes. It means providing clean air, clean water, safe roads and bridges, not just for us, but for generations to come. That's the legacy that President Biden is leaving our children. Let's keep building bridges to the future with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Let's work.
In Wisconsin, we also need leaders by our side. I'm Wisconsin's Lieutenant Governor, Sarah Rodriguez, but long before I took office, I was a registered nurse. I served in the Peace Corps at the height of HIV/AIDS and in Baltimore emergency room. During the COVID pandemic, Trump and Wisconsin Republicans failed to protect our health. That's why I ran for office and flipped a red district blue. Because once a nurse, always a nurse. Now Trump is promising to terminate the Affordable Care Act, meddling in personal decisions between a woman and her doctor, and threatening to slash Medicare. Vice President Harris fights for our health. She'll defend women's reproductive freedom and protect Medicare and Medicaid. Thanks to the Biden-Harris administration, insulin is capped at $35 a month for seniors. And they negotiated down the prices of 10 more life-saving drugs like Eliquis and Jardiance for Americans on Medicare. Kamala will continue to take on Big Pharma and lower the cost of prescriptions for everyone. Of course, healthcare isn't just about drugs and treatment. It's about freedom. The freedom to make your own choices and the freedom to get the care you need without worrying about the cost. Kamala Harris is fighting for that healthy future.
Let me tell y'all about Texas leadership. I'm County Executive Lena Hidalgo, and I serve the 5 million residents of Harris County. Harris County includes Houston. Texas Governor Ann Richards said, "I've been tested by fire, and the fire lost." In the years I've been in office, we've dealt with chemical fires. We've dealt with 10 floods, 7 hurricanes, a deadly winter freeze, and of course the pandemic. When that last disaster struck, Donald Trump abandoned us. He spread misinformation that cost lives. Compare that to 2021, when the Texas power grid went dark. Kamala Harris didn't just put out a tweet, she called me to make sure we had what we needed. Over the years, I've learned that Kamala Harris always calls. And not only does she call, she delivers. The very week she launched her campaign. She was down in Texas with vital FEMA assistance right after Hurricane Beryl. Kamala Harris cares. She will never risk lives for the sake of politics. And she's leading the charge to protect our communities from extreme weather. The Biden-Harris administration have announced at least $1 billion to help us with just that. And Houston is thriving. We deserve leaders who acknowledge the threats, heck, the existence of climate change. We deserve tough leaders who have our backs. We deserve compassionate leaders ready to help. That's Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
I can personally attest that Kamala is a leader who has our back. I'm California's Lieutenant Governor, Eleni Kounalakis, but I hold another title just as dear to me, Kamala Harris's friend. I met her when we were both young women trying to navigate the halls of power. I worked in housing. She had just been elected district attorney. We got frequent lunches together, and she was funny and fun. She was also a great mentor. Once, I told her about a professional experience of being minimized because I was a woman. She put her fork down and said, Eleni, never let anybody make you feel small. I saw her put that creed into action. When Wall Street foreclosed on millions of homes, Washington wisdom was that $4 billion was the best you could do. Other attorneys general agreed. But because Kamala Harris grew up in a middle-class home, she knew that wasn't enough for all the working families who got screwed over. So she put her foot down and refused to settle for less. Kamala Harris won $20 billion from the big banks for California homeowners. And that's because she cares. She cares so much that if you're lucky enough to be her friend, she calls you on her birthday, and sometimes she sings to you. She called me on mine right when I had decided to run for lieutenant governor. She asked tough questions. I promised I'd follow her lead and invest in the future. Together, we shattered that glass ceiling, California, and got to work. I am so glad the country is getting to see the Kamala that I've known for decades. For Californians and Pennsylvanians, for Texans and Wisconsinites, for states red and blue and everything in between, President Biden and Vice President Harris have been investing in our future and are on our side, and we are not going back.
Do you know about Project 2025?
The far right's playbook.
It is Trump's vision for America's future.
I'm not going to be nice.
It will ban abortion nationwide,
I got rid of Roe v. Wade.
raise taxes on middle-class families, gut Medicaid,
That's money that funds a lot of medical treatment.
strip rights from LGBTQ+ people,
Wait a minute, I'm not finished.
cut overtime pay,
It is going to affect workers' bottom lines.
give him unchecked power,
And I will wield that power very aggressively.
and it begins his first day back in office.
In an exclusive undercover video, a co-author of Project 2025 saying that Donald Trump, quote, blessed the work he's doing now.
He's been at our organization. He's raised money for our organization. He's blessed it. So he's very supportive of what we do.
He doesn't want freedom. He only wants control.
I know Donald Trump's tight. I'm breaking.
These are the stakes.
Project 2025 wants to take our country backward.
This is our fight.
We are not going back.
Please welcome Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow.
Hello! I'm Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow, and this is Project 2025. Now, over the next 4 nights, you are going to hear a lot about what is in this 900-page document. Why? Because this is the Republican blueprint for a second Trump term. That's right. They went ahead and wrote down all the extreme things that Donald Trump wants to do in the next 4 years. And then they just tweeted it out, putting it out on the internet for everybody to read. So, we read it. And whatever you think it might be, it is so much worse. Tonight, I want to tell you about just one aspect of Project 2025. It's planned to turn Donald Trump into a dictator. Okay, right here on page 535, it says, quote, reissue Trump's Schedule F executive order to permit discharge of non-performing employees. Now that doesn't sound that scary, right? But here's what it actually means in plain English. If Donald Trump gets back into the White House, he's going to fire civil servants like intelligence officers, engineers, and even federal prosecutors if he decides that they don't serve his personal agenda. They're talking about replacing the entire federal government with an army of loyalists who answer only to Donald Trump. I know. All right, then. Okay. Page 873. It says, quote, conservatives have long believed in either ending law enforcement activities of independent agencies or ending their independent status. Again, that sounds pretty boring. But what it means is that under Project 2025, Donald Trump would be able to weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his political opponents. He could even turn the FBI into his own personal police force.
What do you think about this right here, this line of speech of just going into the Project 2025 and explaining what it does with Trump? What do you think about it?
That's what she should do. That's what you should do. And she doing it the right way. She breaking it down. So at some point, look, from now on, everything they doing from the convention on is how they gonna carry the rest of the campaign. They gonna break it down. They gonna break Project 2025 down. Tell you what it means in plain English so people can understand. So you started now. That's what you're supposed to do. Put it out there in a way that people can understand it, and then hey, they gotta make a decision on it.
Definitely agree.
Believe in a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not the government of Donald Trump, by Donald Trump, and for Donald Trump. We believe in the separation of powers and the rule of law. We believe in a system built up to serve everyone, not breaking a system to serve one petty, selfish man. The truth is, there's only one way to stop him, and to stop Project 2025. How do we do it? We elect Kamala Harris this November. We'll be back tomorrow night to tell you what Project 2025 means for your pocketbook.
Okay. That's what Tony was just saying too. Okay. Yeah, I like now. Hold on.
Please welcome California Senator LaFonza Butler.
At first, I kind of didn't want them to go into that, right? But if you're gonna have one person come in every day and say certain things at that joint, that I like. I like that. Now, okay, now tomorrow I'll be back with this and that. You know what I'm saying? I like that.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
That is sweet, yeah.
It's great to see so many familiar faces. And I can't forget the state that I was born and raised in, Mississippi Democrats. Let everybody hear you. Democrats, before I joined the Senate, I was a leader in the labor movement. So I know a champion for the people when I see one. I met Kamala Harris when she was district attorney, and I was president of a large care workers union. We hit it off right away. What really impressed me was how well she got to know my family. My wife, Naniki, but especially our daughter, Nyla. And as soon as Nyla heard that Miss Kamala was running for president, she asked if she could be vice president. So no disrespect to Governor Walz, but Nyla put her name in first. Vice President Harris and I share a lot in common. We both graduated from historically Black colleges.
Yes, indeed.
Me from Jackson State University.
Now, this is where we're going to get around to the part where we're going to figure out if the demonstrators are going to interrupt this or not, because Biden is coming up real soon. So they should be coming in that joint now. Now, whether we know the uncommitted is going to make noises in here or not, we're about to find out.
You see, Kamala Harris has always understood the assignment. No matter if she were the underdog, no matter the bullying or the name call.
Hold on, before we go any further, you think they're going to make a scene in here, Tony?
Nope.
A better future.
I think they're going to
A
try. I
better
don't think
future was
they is.
possible if we stood side by side with our neighbors and we fought for it. No matter what language they spoke, no matter what country they came from, no matter the size of their bank account. And that's what she did.
As a prosecutor, together with law enforcement, she prioritized holding criminals accountable and protecting public safety. As state attorney general, together with students, she put a scam college out of business. After the mortgage crisis, together with families who lost their homes, she took on the biggest banks in the world and won a settlement 5 times what was initially offered. Every time she walked into a courtroom, she would simply say, Kamala Harris for the people.
Now, what she just said is a key point. That's something that she actually was saying every time she walked into a room. She will always say, this is way back, 2013, 2014, 2012, 2010. When she will actually, when she walks in the room, she'll always say, Kamala Harris for the people. Literally say that shit. That's why the last night of the motherfucking joint, her night is for the people.
Yeah, that's how a
It's
prosecutor
unthinkable.
introduces themselves.
Go ahead.
That's how a prosecutor introduces themselves. Every day she went in the courtroom, she said, Kamala Harris for the people.
Yeah.
Ripped away a woman's freedom to choose what she does with her own body is unthinkable. And Democrats, Americans, we deserve better. We deserve a president who is tough, not just tough talking. One who shatters the boundaries of what's possible, not the boundaries of what's legal. And one who wipes the floor with cheats and fraudsters because, well, Democrats, she knows the type. Democrats, that president, the president that we deserve, that president is my friend, Kamala Harris. Thank you all so much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Deja Fox, and I'm so excited to be here today from Arizona.
These are the
That's
content
right.
creators.
That's where I was born and raised by a single mom. I was a free lunch kid raised in public housing, and I got my health care at Planned Parenthood. Because of policies that lift people up, I walked through the gates of my dream school as a first-generation college student. People my age are making big decisions about our lives, and we deserve a president who has our back. Not some power-hungry millionaire reality TV personality who only cares about himself. We need Kamala Harris. She'll deliver a future where we can decide if and when to start a family. A future where we can afford rent and groceries. A future where we're not crushed under student debt. A future where any free lunch kid can walk through the gates of their dream college. For young people, this is a fight for our future. We have a responsibility to do this, and we have a responsibility to do it right, and that's why we're going to show up for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Let's go.
And here now, with a musical performance, is Jason Isbell. Thank you.
I get home from work, I'll call up all my friends and we'll go.
That right there was the content creators, like I was talking about earlier, right? They got a lot of content creators that do Democratic podcasts and Democratic videos and you know what I'm saying, short skits and all that stuff. They got a lot of them there. You know what I'm saying? So
They got a lot
that
of
was
them, like Like Chris Mowry's there, Harry Sisson's there. They what's her name? Candy Lee Tiff is there.
Yeah.
Too Raw, Too Real is there. It's a whole lot of them there.
What do you think about that? What do you think about the DNC letting all the content creators in that joint and just letting them live stream and stuff? What do you think about that?
That's what they should do. You gotta reach the people where they at. A lot of people is not on TV. People is on their phones. People is not sitting there at home watching this. People are watching it on
Oh
their
no,
phones, on
do
their
Republicans do that?
laptops, on their iPads. They probably did, but not to this extent.
I don't remember. You're right. There's no way they had a whole lounge and all that shit. I think that was,
They
and then
probably
they.
had no lounge, but they was streaming, but
I don't remember.
mm,
It's a lot of streamers going on right now on YouTube for sure. They got the okay from them, and there's some of them there, so that's different. Now, another thing that's different is the atmosphere of this convention is kind of different from the last convention. It's more of an upbeat tempo thing going on here. The speakers are quick and precise, and they off the stage. You know what I'm saying? And it's a theme to it. Everybody is talking about her in general, right? But if you look back at the other joint, you had the black dude from Florida, right? He had all those black people talking the first day. None of them really talked about a personal situation with Trump, right? That translate into, oh yeah, I'm clear on he gonna be on this issue. You feel me? None of them, all of them was just screaming, he gonna fix it. The same shit he say. Like he tell you all the problems, but just be like, just trust me. I make it beautiful. Like, what the fuck did that mean, bro? Like, I just don't get, like, that's how they started their convention off. Just saying stuff like that. This is a big difference where you get people really talking about situations they were with the candidate and how they feel now off of that situation, how they gonna do doing situations and certain situations, certain motherfucking far as like health care and stuff like that. They know how she gonna react because they given situations they were in with her. You feel me? Which is a little different from the Republican joint. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
the Republican joint. I've been saying the Republican joint, man. That joint was thrown together. In some respects, it was thrown together. You don't have.
No, remember at the beginning, all them channels were saying this is going smooth. They doing everything. Some shit they was saying they doing it right or some shit.
It was going as smooth. It was going smooth as they can have it. You cannot sit there and compare the two. That was a Republican convention. How you have a convention and you don't have the one fucking Republican president who's still alive there? You have every president, Democratic president of the last 40 some years except Jimmy Carter, who's basically on his deathbed. You got all the top echelon of the Trump didn't even have his cabinet. They had to put that shit out there. He had 44 of his cabinet and top advisors. I think it's 44, almost 44 or something like that, that don't support him. He don't even have his administration with him. They they gotta try to put it out there to make that shit sound good. That shit wasn't good. That shit was gloomy. Yeah, they was all on the same message, but that shit was gloomy for 4 days. We a third world country, and we got to get America great again. America is going down. This is all that shit dumb shit they was talking.
Hello, Democrats. Hello, Chicago. It's a great honor for me to be here this evening. You know, long before I was the governor of Rhode Island, I was a little girl growing up there
in a middle-class family. My dad found his American dream in a watch factory in Providence. And that job gave him a way to provide for our family, a community for him to belong to, and so much pride. But like so many Americans in the 80s, after 25 years of his hard work, his job and the job of all of his friends was shipped overseas. You know, years later, my dad said to me, "Gina, this happened because our leaders let us down." And my father was right. The Republicans in power who pushed failed economic strategy. Let's just cut taxes for the wealthy and leave everybody else behind. Well, not only did my father lose his job, but frankly, manufacturing left my state. Manufacturing withered in Rhode Island and all across this nation. In communities all across America, factories shuttered, communities got hollowed out, and people were left without their job, without hope, without the dignity that comes with a decent job. And you know, Republican economic policy failed Rhode Island. How do I know that? Because when I took office, first Democrat elected governor in a couple of decades, I inherited one of the worst economies in the country. It was a mess. But we got to work and we turned it around. We turned it around with a pro-business, pro-worker agenda. Kamala Harris has that same agenda. She knows we need an economy where the costs are low and opportunities abound. An economy where people can show up to their jobs with dignity and pride. She has a new economic vision for America. You know how she knows that? She knows it because just like me, Kamala Harris grew up in a middle-class home. Her mom worked to cure breast cancer by day and feed her family at night.
Wait. Let's. Okay, first of all, during the time she's talking about, right? All the jobs was leaving like a motherfucker. We was lucky, me and you, matter of fact, was working in Springfield. We was lucky to hold on to that joint as long as we could before they closed down. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, and the only reason that happened because the owner, he figured out certain ways that, you know what I'm saying, to keep things afloat for a little longer. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, I remember that time when jobs just floating out of this joint like crazy, bro. And that all is come from when Republicans feel like they didn't give millionaires tax cuts. Why is that always their thing? Why you can't change up and do something different? Why everything gotta be tax cuts to the rich? Then we just figure anything else out after that. Like this shit be odd as fuck. And then when somebody come to you and be like, "I'm gonna give $6,000 to every child born, tax credit," right? Somebody come to you and be like $25,000 for you to start up and get you a new house. That compared to just giving all the money to a millionaire that don't fucking need it, it's just obvious, motherfucker, to me. You know what I'm saying? How the shit should go. But me and you worked in a motherfucking warehouse, right? And we was in the union, and we both was union reps. So we see things real different from everybody. We see things from working and fighting for workers' rights. You know what I'm saying? So I love being a motherfucking union rep. So That's why I say, motherfucker, if you want to call somebody Miss Harris, this podcast is really loaded. You know what I'm saying? No, we really much got everything you need. You know what I'm saying? You bring somebody on your joint that fucking around that got kids or whatever, fuck, or married, we got that covered. You know what I'm saying? You got to bring somebody on your joint that had to use insulin or ever been, you know what I'm saying? We got that joint. You know what I'm saying? We are literally everything you need in the black culture. If you call both of us on right, everything, our life is in bodies, literally having to be a Democrat, literally. You know what I'm saying? Our life, our
Yeah, we
bodies, our
explain some
family.
things to you.
Go ahead. You
Yeah,
talking to
we
me?
explain some things for you. Now I was saying, if you need, we could explain some things to her. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, I mean, that's what they really trying to do though, for real. They trying to, talk to people who got the problems they trying to solve. Well, they try to solve the problems that the people got. Put it like that. So
Exactly. And then when I tell people that, like me and you were union reps, people gotta understand what union reps is. It's a representative of workers on the job. So if a motherfucking supervisor try to fire him for bullshit, we are representative of the worker, and we can fight for them as like attorneys almost. You know what I'm saying? So that imagine me and Tony on your job, making sure motherfuckers, yeah, imagine that. That's how we was. You know what I'm saying? Now we use that power for sure.
Harris will build an economy where everyone, and she means everyone, can find and live their American dream. So let's put her in the Oval Office. Thank you.
Now, to me personally, if tonight ain't tonight that they motherfucking protest or whatever the fuck with Biden speaking, then why would they wait for when she speak? You know, wouldn't make any
that she's gonna
sense.
be the next president because they figure she's gonna be the
Not be
next
voting.
president, and
But they mad at Joe Biden. So if you don't
but
come
Joe
in, it
Biden is not gonna be there in 6 months.
don't make sense.
In a few months, Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden's a lame duck now, but he's not gonna be able to do shit in a couple of months,
Well,
especially
tomorrow we
after
wake up.
election day.
Well, tomorrow we wake up. It's a ceasefire, and the hostages
It
come home.
might be.
Now what? It's like how we gonna look at the end of shit?
It just might be. Never know.
I do not trust that he can do the right thing anymore.
We've seen what Donald Trump really is, and it disgusts me to my core. I don't think the man can be trusted. He talks out of both sides of his mouth.
Hold on.
He's a very dishonest person. I hate the way he disrespects women. Voting against Trump and for Kamala Harris is the right thing to do.
What do you think about these short little videos like that where they talking like that? That's cool. You think that's all right there?
Ain't nothing they been doing. That's about the same thing. You know, you gonna get a whole lot of videos. You gonna get a whole lot of this, that, and the third.
Another thing I'm noticing too, you ain't noticing that it's a lot of women. You know what I'm
There's a
saying?
lot of women in it, especially because there's a lot of women in the Democratic Party anyway.
True, but she
You
picking
got way
each.
more women's representation in the Democratic Party than you got in the Republican Party.
It comes
There
down to
ain't no women.
who you want to speak though. It's like she picking each woman that's here, that's in the party. And shit.
Like so many of us, my grandparents came from Ireland as teenagers with nothing but hope in their hearts and fire in their belly.
Remember, AOC and Crockett ain't came on yet. They come on, right?
Yep.
Damn. And Kerr. You sure?
More than that, Hillary speak tonight.
How all that gonna come on before 10? Oh, they is
Come
moving.
on, it's gonna be coming on
They is kind of moving fast though.
When the
other
main event
families in my
starts, that's when I
blue-collar
probably have to
community.
cut out because I want to see them.
They believed that with hard work, they could build a
It's
better
after 9
future,
o'clock, you ready to get all that good shit
not
done.
just for
Prime
themselves,
time.
but for those with less hope and less opportunity. I'm proud of my roots and the values I learned. Grit, determination, compassion. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz grew up with those same values. And those values have always defined the people of my state. Well, most of us anyway. Donald Trump was born a New Yorker, but ended up a fraud, a philanderer, and a felon. He wasn't raised with the New York values that I know. He never had to worry about childcare costs or groceries or rent. He never had to worry about anything or anyone but himself. Trust me, America. If you think you're tired of Donald Trump, talk to a New Yorker. We've had to deal with him for 78 long years. The fraud, the tax dodging, the sham university, the shady charities. We've seen him stiff contractors, rip off workers. He abuses women, brags about it, and then takes away their rights. And New Yorkers are sick of it. It's no wonder he had to flee to Mar-a-Lago. Sorry about that, Florida. Sorry about that. Trump hasn't spent much time in New York lately, except that is to get convicted of 34 felonies. And that's just fine with us, because New York's motto is Excelsior, ever upward. And Trump takes us ever downward. Because here's what Trump never understood. America isn't a luxury good to be bought and sold by the privileged and powerful few. America, we just can't afford another 4 years of that. We have kids to feed, roads to build, jobs to create, real problems to solve. And we need leaders who can get it done. Trump talked big about bringing back manufacturing jobs. But you know who actually did it? President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Kamala. And look no further than the city of Syracuse, where a company called Micron is building a $100 billion microchip factory with union labor. It's the largest private investment in American history, and it's going to create 50,000 good-paying jobs. The Biden-Harris administration has made the most significant investments in our economy in generations. And as president, Kamala Harris will continue to build an opportunity economy for all. My friends, history's watching us. Together, we must protect abortion rights. Together, we must protect the middle class. Together, we must protect the American dream. And together, we must elect Kamala Harris President of the United States. Thank you.
Trying to rain on the thunder. Tell the storm I'm new. I'm the wild, come and march on the regular. painting white flags blue.
What kind of America do we want? One where we're divided, angry, depressed? Come on, we're Americans. Fascism, we conquered it. The moon, landed on it. The future, building it. Freedom, nobody loves it more. And we fight for it.
Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. Freedom, freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too. I break chains.
Freedom from control.
Won't let my freedom run in.
Freedom from extremism and fear.
Extremists want to take us back, but we are not going back.
I'ma keep running 'cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
We go forward. That's American. And we need a leader who is for the people.
Ours is a fight for the future.
Kamala Harris. Protecting people from predators and big drug cartels. Holding Wall Street banks accountable.
A crime perpetrated against our middle class.
Standing up to dictators. And fighting for all of us.
I say we fight.
That's our choice. A prosecutor or a felon.
Are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it?
I'ma keep on running 'cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
And when we fight, we win!
Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, come.
What y'all think about? Hold on, is that her? It's not her, is it?
Yeah, she's talking.
No, the music came on. My TV music came on. You got to know you got to come out. Why wait till the night?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. It is so good to be with everyone this evening in this hall and everyone at home. This is going to be a great week. And I want to kick us off by celebrating our incredible President, Joe Biden, who will be speaking later tonight. Joe, thank you for your historic leadership, for your lifetime of service to our nation, and for all you will continue to do. We are forever grateful to you. Thank you, Joe. And looking out at everyone tonight, I see the beauty of our great nation. People from every corner of our country and every walk of life are here, united by our shared vision for the future of our country. And this November, we will come together and declare with one voice, as one people, we are moving forward. With optimism, hope, and faith, So, guided by our love of country, knowing we all have so much more in common than what separates us, let us fight for the ideals we hold dear, and let us always remember when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Good night,
Wait.
everyone.
Wait, what? Hey. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Tone. Bro, what was that, Tony? What's she doing here?
You didn't expect her to be there or something?
What the fuck? What?
You didn't expect her to be there?
The first night speaking? What is she doing?
Everybody do that.
Wait, what?
Obama did that on his first night.
What?
Yeah.
Why her husband was
I
shocked?
expect her to come back. I expect her to come back again later on tonight at the end of Joe Biden's speech.
Oh, probably she ain't gonna say nothing. She probably come out with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I expect her to come back.
I didn't
She
expect her
was
to.
coming out. I mean, she ain't really say shit. She just welcome. Basically, she's welcoming everybody to the convention.
Now, when I thought about it, the theme song should have let me know she's about to come out with this bitch.
I gave it away earlier. I told y'all the theme song is going to be. Anytime you see her come out, the theme song is going to be freedom. So that's why I
What
told
you
you.
think about her coming out tonight, the first night?
I didn't know she was gonna be there. I didn't think she was gonna come out. But as soon as I heard the intro, I said she's about to come out. Come watch the CNN. So I'm kind of like ahead of y'all a little bit.
Yeah.
So I saw her come out. When I heard the song, that's why I came and jumped online real quick. And I'm trying to tell y'all she was talking, but when I heard the song, I knew she was coming out. I knew she was coming out. There was no way she was going to come out off that song. She about to, that's her motto of the champagne, freedom. So she had to come out and say her piece on it.
What do you think about the video itself, though? You like that video? The video, I think that's a free video.
Yeah, the video tells us where we at now. It tells us what we came from. It tells us where we build it, what we have done throughout the generations to show us that we are fighters. When we fight, we win. We accomplish these goals, going to space, ending segregation and things like that, making peace. So it brings a light to the future of what we continue and trying to build on, instead of looking at the past and dealing with the struggles of the past.
That joint gave me goosebumps, bro. Plus with that motherfucker freedom, that joint be that joint be giving it to you, bro. That joint hit for real.
Yeah, like
remains a beacon of hope and
damn. But man, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight for sure. You know what I'm saying, dog? We'll be here tomorrow night, podcasting as usual. Do Tuesday nights and Friday nights for sure. Hope y'all continue watching the convention for sure. You know what I'm saying? You got Biden about to come up in a few. Got a lot of people coming up. Crockett ain't come up yet either. So we got in store some fire burners coming up. You know what I'm saying? But so far, I like the way the motherfucking convention going. I ain't got no complaints, bro. I like the shit. How y'all like the joint so far?
I mean, I've been watching from the beginning, so I've been enjoying the people that have been coming out, the artists that have been coming out, and all the speakers that's been coming out. They've been on point with every single thing. You know, building the future, building the bridge, not going back to where we used to be. That's why all of them said before they ended, we're not going back. Then when she came out, she talked about what? Freedom. You know, looking towards the future. You know, everything. She let them say so far as okay, we're not going back. When she came out more powerful with freedom. You know, this is our future we're going into now.
Man, that shit hits, bro. That freedom joint hit. Tony, what you think before we get out here?
I'm trying to listen to Steve Kerr.
That was Steve Kerr?
I'm looking at Steve Kerr. Y'all tell y'all on the late fee.
Oh,
What I'm looking at is head of the feed y'all on. All them ain't six.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
he just resigned as the U.S. basketball coach, so he's not gonna do the Olympics no more. Head coach of the Olympics no more.
The joint over.
I see y'all tomorrow night. It's about
Ain't that
time to
joint
get
over?
into the meat. What over?
The
What
Olympics.
over?
The best.
Yeah, Olympics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
Olympics
Olympics
over
over.
with, but next if it's every 4 years, so the next 4 years
Yeah,
he's not.
he that shit.
Yeah.
All right. Bet. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight for sure. You know what I'm saying? We be here tomorrow night, live, podcasting. Appreciate everybody. Tune into the rest of the joint because we got a lot going on there with Biden and Crockett and AOC coming up. You know what I'm saying, dog? Appreciate everybody, though. Appreciate everybody that take the time out to watch us, motherfucker. Me and my man, number one soul brother, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're just coming out the streets, talking politics. You know
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers. None of that shit that's on TV. You know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood.